The first time a football team representing what would become Bethune-Cookman University played in the city of Miami, it was only the second time in program history, back in 1924. Their opponent was now conference foe Alabama A&M, and the score was a 0-0 tie. In the 99 years that have followed, the Maroon and Gold have played many times in the 305, with South Florida becoming a home away from home for the Wildcats in the late 80s and 90s. Dade and Broward counties have also been home for some of Bethune-Cookman's greatest victories on the gridiron, with a 2002 win over Florida Atlantic and perhaps the greatest wins in school history, back-to-back triumphs over Florida International in 2013 and 2014, marking BCU's only wins to date against FBS competition. It is a surprise, then, that Bethune-Cookman did not face the University of Miami for the first time until 2011. The Wildcats and Hurricanes have made up for lost time, and they have played 6 times over the past 12 years. Unsurprisingly, this matchup has been dominated by the Hurricanes, who are 6-0 and have outscored BCU by an average of 50-10. But history remains in the past, and the Wildcats have one final chance to tune up for conference play in the present, tonight in Miami Gardens. Live from Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens, Florida, this evening's presentation of Bethune-Cookman University Athletics on the CatEye Network and 1380 WELE The Cat is on the air. Hello and a very warm welcome. My name is Michael Truillo. I'm happy to have your company. Analyst Daryl Natil will once again join me on the broadcast today as well. The Bethune-Cookman Wildcats entered tonight's contest at 2-0 after falling to Memphis in Week 1 and bouncing back against Savannah State in their home opener just 5 days ago. In the win against the Tigers on Saturday, Luke Sprague cemented himself as the #1 quarterback on the team after taking over for starter Walter Simmons III to begin the second quarter. Sprague finished the game with an efficient 23 of 29 passing for 223 yards and 2 touchdowns. Davino Ellington was his top target with 6 catches for 65 yards, and Dakari Allen Johnson was the recipient of both of Sprague's touchdown passes. The ground game was led by Juvensley Bazul's 64 yards and 2 scores. Dearest Thomas led the Wildcats on defense with 9 tackles, a sack, and 2 TFLs, and Jalen Christian also added a sack. Cade Hector went 1 for 2 on field goals, making a 45-yarder, which currently stands as the longest field goal in the SWAC this season. BCU head coach Raymond Woody's return to Daytona Municipal Stadium was a successful one, as the win marked the former Wildcats linebacker's first ever victory as a head coach. I spoke to Coach Woody before tonight's game to talk about the win over Savannah State, the challenge of facing the Hurricanes, and about sharing the field with former co-worker, Miami head coach Mario Cristobal. I'm here with Coach Raymond Woody before the Wildcats take on the Miami Hurricanes here in Week 3 of the season. Coach, early morning practice out here. What was the theory behind this 6:30 walkthrough?
Well, obviously this same thing we did last week. I mean, obviously on our walkthrough days, we execute, master the 5As just like it would be on the run-through day. Just getting the guys acclimated to how we do things. Nothing special. I mean, we do it every week.
Short turnaround here, Saturday to Thursday night game down in Miami. What's different about preparing your team for a Thursday night game rather than a Saturday night game?
Well, it's a shorter week, obviously. You have to be smart, with the players and what you do, how you do it. But like I said, when you have these shorter weeks, you got to be strategic in your planning.
Recap the win over Savannah State. How did it feel for you to get your first win at Daytona Stadium as a coach?
Well, it's just, it's good for the community. It's good for, the program and then also the school. But for me, it's the most important game on our schedule because it was the next game.
Luke Sprague kind of made himself known as kind of QB1. He came into the second quarter, threw a couple touchdown passes, led the offense efficiently. What have you seen out of him early on in the season?
Well, he's a guy that he's going to come to work and go to work. I mean, he's not looking for any handouts, and he made some of those same throws and those decisions, during practice. So, I mean, for me, it was good to see him do it in a game type situation consistently.
How important was it to keep Savannah State out of the end zone defensively?
It was real important. I mean, they had a couple shots, some of the miscues that they had, we capitalized on, but it definitely was important for us to keep them out so we can stop the momentum and then swing it to our offense, and they ended up putting points up.
You guys are the least penalized team in the SWAC through 2 weeks, only 10 penalties through 2 games. Is that something that you preach to your team over and over again?
Oh, yeah. Well, I said when I got here, we want to put a good product out, and we want to be well disciplined on what we do and how we do it. And if you do that, wins will come, but we want to build this the right way, and that's the only way. You want to be a disciplined football team.
You have some history with Coach Cristobal down at Miami, and what is it going to be like going down there and facing the Hurricanes?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, he's a really good coach. Had an opportunity to coach with him, at Oregon, and obviously Coach Salaver, the defensive coordinator, Coach Lance Guidry. I coached with him as well, so it's going to be good. I mean, they're doing a great job down there.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck this week.
Thank you.
The VCU offense picked up the pace against Savannah State after a slow start in Week 1. Luke Sprague leads the way with 224 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. Juvensley Bazul has 81 yards on the ground and 2 scores, while Jaden Bivens is the Cats' big playback, averaging over 10 yards a carry. In the receiving game, Davino Ellington leads the team with 77 yards on 9 catches. Dakari Allen Johnson has been in the red zone, a threat with 2 touchdowns, and look out for whenever Tink Boyd has the ball in his hands. The Virginia Tech transfer is averaging 34 yards a reception. I caught up with Luke Sprague to talk about coming off the bench and how he's gelling with his teammates and playing against the Hurricanes. Unfortunately, due to time constraints, we'll have to play that interview at halftime. While the scoreline of the Memphis game did not appear to give the Bethune-Cookman defense the respect it deserves, the contest against Savannah State certainly did. The Tigers were kept out of the end zone and only had 2 field goals, both of those coming on drives that started in BCU territory. Statistically, De'Aris Thomas leads the team with 17 tackles, putting him in the top 10 in the SWAC in that category. Omari Hill-Robinson is the only other double-digit tackler the Wildcats have with 10. Thomas, Amari Jones, and Jalen Christian each have 2 tackles for loss and a sack, and Eddie Walls has been consistently getting into the backfield with multiple QB hurries. In the secondary, Iverson Clement is the team leader in passes defended, and Amari Jones and Tyrone Franklin each have an interception. I spoke to De'Aris Thomas earlier this week to talk about leading the defense and what motivates him on the field. Once again, we did start our pregame show a little bit late. Apologies for some technical constraints here at Miami. We will have those interviews for you at halftime as the Miami Hurricanes, wearing white helmets, green jerseys, white pants, white numbers with orange trim, an orange stripe on the shoulders, run out of the tunnel onto the field here at Hard Rock Stadium just below us, through the fire and through the smoke. A beautiful scene as the Hurricane flags wave behind them. With 5 national championships and 9 conference titles to their credit, the University of Miami's football team has long been a juggernaut. The Hurricanes' most dominant period was the 80s and 90s, where 4 of their 5 national titles were won. Since appearing in their last BCS championship in 2002, Miami has been relatively down by their lofty standards, only winning 3 bowl games and none since 2016. This could potentially be a make-or-break season for second-year head coach Mario Cristobal. Miami went 5-7 last year after the former Hurricanes offensive linemen took over after 3 seasons each under Mark Richt and Manny Diaz. However, things are looking up in the 305 as the Hurricanes have started 2-0 with wins over Miami of Ohio and then number 23 Texas A&M at Hard Rock Stadium last Saturday, 48-33. Miami is led by quarterback Tyler Van Dyke. The junior is averaging 280 yards per over 2 games, completing 73% of his passes with 6 passing touchdowns. After missing part of last season, with an injury, Van Dyke is hoping to recapture some of the flashes of brilliance he showed during his freshman campaign, where he was named ACC Rookie of the Year. Van Dyke's leading receiver, Xavier Restrepo, has caught 11 passes for 194 yards, with Colby Young and Jacoby George each having over 100 receiving yards. It has been running back by committee for the U so far, with their leading rusher through 2 games, Harry Parrish Jr., rushing for 145 yards on 19 attempts with a touchdown. 3 other Miami running backs, A.J. Allen, Mark Fletcher Jr., and Donald Chaney Jr., have over 10 rushing attempts. Tonight will be the first time Raymond Woody and Mario Cristobal are coaching on opposing sides after the sharing the sideline under Willie Taggart at Oregon. 2 programs hoping that a bright future lies just around the corner meet tonight under the South Florida sky. I now bring in venerable co-commentator Daryl Natil. Daryl, it is a beautiful, if a little bit warm and sticky night here in Miami. The teams are out on the field. Bethune-Cookman in their maroon helmets, gold jerseys, maroon pants, maroon numbers with a white trim. Miami in white, green, and white. We just had the band on the field. It's a perfect night for some college football.
Perfect night for football. Process, game number 3. We played well last week against Savannah State. We even played well the first game against Memphis. So this afternoon, you look for some kids to come in here, make some plays, make it respectable, and learn something from the University of Miami.
This is important because conference play is next. We go to Jackson State next week, and we're going to find out a lot about that team next week. But we're going to find out a lot about the team tonight because this is the biggest test we're going to face this season. This is a series where BCU has never been close statistically with Miami. As the teams run out onto the field now, it looks like Miami will receive the opening kickoff as BCU won the toss and deferred to the second half.
Might want to see the pooch kick right here. You don't want to kick it deep. Let them get a big return on it.
Back deep to return for the Hurricanes is Brashard Smith and Xavier Restrepo. They stand at the goal line. Cade Hector has the ball on the tee at the 35-yard line, kicking left to right. It's a short week, just a 5-day break, but here we go. The ball is in the air. It is a short kick. It's going to be fielded at the 20-yard line by Restrepo. He's going to run it out to the 25. Big hole up the middle. That hole is going to be closed down. And he's going to be spotted close to the 30-yard line. Our angle here at Hard Rock Stadium is very strange. We're kind of off at the back of the corner of the end zone.
We're in left field of the old ballpark.
So if it takes me a little bit longer to get the down and distance than I normally do, I do apologize.
Yeah, we're actually in the end zones.
Yeah, we are basically behind the end zone that Miami is attacking right now. They'll go left to right. Remember, white, green, white. Tyler Van Dyke is the quarterback. His running back is A.J. Allen to start the game. Van Dyke going to throw a screen to the left. It's going to be caught low on the hips of the receiver, past the 40, close to the 50-yard line. First down, Miami. That was Jacoby George on the reception.
Yeah, look for Van Dyke to try to pick us apart. No, he played well last week against Texas A&M. He's one of the better quarterbacks in the ACC.
And in the country, 73% completion. Another screen, this time to the far side of the field. A crunching hit after a pickup about 5. Looks like Iverson Clement came in there and made the stop for BCU.
Yeah, they're going to test us on the edges with our defensive backs and our tackling tonight. They're going to test us quickly in the secondary.
And it's going to be a lot of safe passes for Van Dyke early on, just to try and get into a bit of a rhythm against this BCU defense. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, ball on the left hash. Van Dyke claps his hands once, now twice. Takes the snap. He's going to hand it off to Allen. No, he's going to keep it round the left side. Past the midfield stripe, past the 45 to the 43-yard line for just barely enough for a Miami first down.
Amari Jones on the tackle that time on the quarterback keeper.
Interesting. Tyler Van Dyke, not someone who really likes to run. They don't really use that option play that much. BCU shows pressure, brings it off the edge. Screen pass to the running back, A.J. Allen. He's going to be wrapped up past the 40 to the 37-yard line. They did bring heavy pressure that time with Steven Sparrow bringing the pressure off the left edge.
Yeah, they put a little package in that time to kind of get the ball out of the quarterback's hand. Great tackle that time by the secondary.
2nd and 6 after a pickup of 4. Snap to Van Dyke. This time he does put it in the belly of the running back. A.J. Allen bounces off a tackler, gets inside the 30. Excuse me, that is Henry Parrish Jr. now at running back for the Canes.
Yeah, he was stuck by Quarles. He bounced right off the linebacker.
It is going to be 11 yards and a first down for Miami inside the 30 spot. The ball at the 26-yard line of Bethune-Cookman. They have driven from their own 30 to inside the BCU 30 pretty efficiently here early on, kind of similarly to what Memphis did in their first drive against us. 2 receivers left, single right. Now one comes in motion left to right. It's going to be a jet sweep. Sparrow comes off his blocker, makes the tackle. Only about a 3-yard gain there as the jet sweep went to Brashard Smith.
Nice looking defense that time. The Cats snuffed out the jet sweep to the near side. Didn't leave him any room to cut up.
That's what we got to do. We got to attack laterally, make sure those holes are closed up when they try to spread the field.
2nd and about 3.
From the 21-yard line, Three receivers out to the left this time. Single right. Van Dyke takes the snap. It's a receiver screen to Restrepo. Restrepo dancing between BCU tacklers inside the 20. Tackled the 25. First down, BCU.
Franco Harris just walked in and sat next to us. He's trying to get our attention.
You said you've seen a lot of people that you know. You're a South Florida boy, Mr. Natil. Setting up in the red zone now, Miami. They're at the 15-yard line, 1st and 10.
It's not Franco Harris. He looked just like Franco Harris, though. Franco Harris passed away, but he looks just like Mr. Franco.
It's going to be an inside handoff. Big hole up the middle, tripped up at the 10 is Parrish. Gain of 5. Nice tackle in the middle by Joshua Thornhill from safety. And something I mentioned when I went on one of the Miami podcasts earlier this week is the second-level rushing defense is going to have to step up because we like to play the 4-3 and the 3-4. None of that's really effective at stopping the run by itself.
Watch how they set up the tonal screen for the near side.
Three receivers all to the right-hand side. 2nd and 5 from the 10-yard line. Handoff. Van Dyke keeps it. Touchdown, Miami. He had the entire maroon and gold defense fooled, and he walked in untouched after the read option. That's the second time they've run that read option.
Great looking read that time by Van Dyke. We had the pitch man covered. He just scampered up the middle for the touchdown.
That's his first rushing touchdown of the season. And for a guy that doesn't run very much, he certainly showed off the wheels. He's not very fast, but the misdirection on that read option made it very easy.
Yeah, defense real aggressive, and we overran the play. We had the pitch man covered, but he scooted in for the touchdown. Kick is up and good, 7-0.
Andres Borregales, the Miami kicker, boots it up and through. Borregales, a great story. His brother Jose kicked at FIU and Miami and was first-team All-ACC, and Miami kicking, it's all in the family for the Borregales.
The Borregales, they're a great family of athletes, man. I remember that kid, man. Did he go pro?
He did. He's playing in the XFL.
XFL now. Okay. He was deadly from inside the 50.
We'll take a quick break. Bethune-Cookman nothing. Miami 7. You're listening to BCU Athletics on CatEye Network Radio and 1380 WELE The Cats. Michael Turillo and Daryl Natil back at Hard Rock Stadium as the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats trail the Miami Hurricanes 7-0. 10:46 to go in the first quarter after a very efficient drive by Miami. 70 yards for a Van Dyke touchdown. Van Dyke on that opening drive, 5 of 5 for 34 yards. During this timeout, there was a very nice tribute to Mark Richt, who coached here, obviously played quarterback here in the early 2000s, and is now being inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame class of 2023.
Coach Rick's a friend of mine. I had opportunity to do some stuff with the Fellowship of Christian Athletes with him when I lived down here in Miami. I've done a number of events with Mark Rick.
We are just waiting for the kicking unit for Miami to get on the field. Bethune-Cookman's return unit is already out there. Juvensley Bazul and Darnell Dees are the two deep men standing on the end zone closest to us inside the 5.
Juvenski got a lot of notice from the home fans last week. They noticed his running style.
2 rushing touchdowns for Bazil last week. Also 81 yards on the ground. He leads the team in that category. Borregales has the ball on the tee at the 35-yard line, kicking left to right. The ball is in the air. It's high and arcing, going to go out of the back of the end zone, and the Wildcats will start at the 25. I do not expect anybody all season to kick to Darnell Dees.
They better not kick to him. They know what's good for him.
He had 1 return last week, and he almost took it all the way back to the house. Got close to midfield on that return.
Looks like Luke Sprague's going to get the start.
After dominating last week, 244 yards, 2 touchdowns, 50% completion on the season. That includes his little bit of a appearance against Memphis in the 4th quarter. They'll start at the 25-yard line, going left to right. 2 receivers stacked to each side. Bazile in the backfield. Sprague claps his hands, takes the snap, looks to throw under pressure. He's going to try and escape the pocket. He does. He's going to be pushed down from behind after a gain of about 5 yards to the 29-yard line. Give him 4.
They brought good pressure, but he stepped up and eluded the pressure, stepped out of a tackle, picked up 4 yards on the play.
Yeah, that nice little scramble there, and good job by Sprague to get out of that pocket when it was collapsing around him. This defensive line for Miami, led by Leonard Taylor, is fierce.
Oh, they're fierce. Absolutely.
2nd down and 6 after the gain of 4. Bazile on a screen pass to the left side. It's caught at the 30-yard line and getting out of bounds at the 31 or
That's
32.
Dakari Allen Johnson.
Dakari Allen Johnson had the 2 receiving touchdowns. Shortest guy on the team, just 5'7".
That's why we call him the flea.
But he had a really impressive catch last week.
Off the shoe tops.
It'll be 3rd down and 2 for BCU. They're going to go 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. That's Tink Boyd. Jimmy Robinson in at running back. The 5'8 guy. Sprague in the gun. 1 man in motion. That's DAJ. He moves from right to left. Now it's 2 by 2. Sprague takes the snap. Rush comes off the edge. He gets the pass away to the far side. It's going to be close to a 1st down. It was caught by Dakari Allen Johnson again.
Dakari's quickly becoming the go-to receiver for Sprague, man. He loves that kid.
I don't think they got it. It was 3rd and 2. I think they only got 1.
What? No, they gave him the 1st down.
Did they give him the 1st down?
Chains
Yes,
are moving.
they are. Okay, it was very slow to move the chains. And again, our angle is not great where we are.
And we're watching a home side. The chains are on our side. So.
1st and 10 for Bethune-Cookman from the 35-yard line, their own 35. Still 2 by 2 after 2 screens from Sprague. Sprague going to take the snap, back to pass, pressure, pocket breaks down, a flag flies. Sprague goes down all the way back at the 30-yard line. The ball comes out. It's a fumble for Miami, recovered I think the play was blown dead. I think they say Sprague was down. It was Leonard Taylor who recovered the fumble, and he didn't get a chance to run it back to the end zone.
Was it a incomplete forward pass, or was it a fumble?
I think he might have been down before the ball came out is what the ruling is.
Okay, let's see. They're going to call holding on us.
Well, that's better than a fumble. The referee tonight, as I look at my flip card, the referee crew is Adam Savoy.
2 fouls.
Both. So they're going to call intentional grounding on Sprague, and they're going to be a loss of down. They're going to decline the holding penalty. So a bit of a comedy of errors right there for BCU. 2 penalties on 1 play when they only had 10 penalties through the first 2 games.
Okay, they backed them up. It's 2nd down on like about 20 now.
It is 2nd and 23 officially. They'll start at the 21-yard line. Need to get all the way to the 45. Sprague takes the snap, handoff to Vensley Bazile, trying to squirt through the line. Doesn't get very far, only gets about 5 up to the 26.
He hit that hole pretty quick, man, and bounced to the outside, and the linebacker picked him up in the hole. Picked up about 3 on the play. 3rd and long.
Watch out for Wesley Besant, Corey Flagg, and Francisco Maui-Noa on the linebacking core for Miami.
And Maui-Noa, number 51, man, he's a monster on defense.
Originally from American Samoa, him and his brother both play on this team. His brother plays O-line. Now 3rd down and 19.
Where are the play clocks here? Okay, underneath the goalpost.
From the 26, got to get to the 45. Only a 3-man rush. Sprague over the middle. The pass is caught near midfield past the 40. It's going to be close to a first down, but not quite. Cameron Overton caught that pass.
Yeah,
Khalil Overton caught the pass.
Overton twins are back in Miami. They're transfers from FIU.
I think we're going to have a timeout for official measurement. So he got close. That was nice. So let's recap that play. Sprague had a chance to stand in the pocket, and he threw it over the middle, and Overton was like coming in on a curl. It looks like Luke Sprague may be hurt.
Yeah, like his shoulder's hurting. Yeah.
That's not great. We're going to get a look at a replay here. It was good by Sprague to stand in the pocket, and then he got just pushed in the back a little bit by Taylor right at the end of the play. It looks like he landed awkwardly.
On his elbow. We're gonna punt the football.
All right, it's going to be 4th down and 2. Though they needed 19, they got 17. I mean, a very good 3rd down play, but I think maybe you just want to see how Sprague is. Don't go for it on 4th down here. Punt the ball away. This is Max Tulin, the punter for BCU. He stands at his own 30-yard line. Here comes the rush. He gets the punt away. It's high, arcing towards the left-hand side. Backing up is the returner. He takes the ball inside the 10. He's going to be wrapped up and dropped at the 7-yard line. Great catch coverage for BCU.
First of all, he kicked it high and gave his coverage time to get down the field. Great-looking kick and coverage that time. He only got 2 yards on the return, but Luke Sprague is going to go to the locker. He's going to go to the tent. My goodness, we don't want to see him go down.
Well, we will have more on that, and Miami will have the ball when we come back. This is BCU football on the CatEye Network Radio and 1380 WELE. Seven 0 Miami over Bethune-Cookman here at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. The Hurricanes get set to take over back at their own 7-yard line after a great punt by Max Tulin, the native of Australia. Bethune-Cookman got oh so close to converting a 3rd down and 19. Needed 19, got 17, but in the process, Luke Sprague is in the tent with maybe what is a bad shoulder. We hope nothing ill comes of that, and maybe it's just precautionary. But Bethune-Cookman back on defense. Van Dyke in the game for Miami. Starting at their own 7-yard line. Takes the snap, handoff up the middle, looking for a big hole up the middle. That's Henry Parrish. He dives forward past the 20-yard line. Big 13, 14-yard gain there for Parrish.
Clement on the hit. You can tell. He brings a heavy load with him. No, that's 16.
Yeah, Joshua Thornhill is getting the start at safety tonight for Bethune-Cookman. 1st and 10 once again, this time from the 23-yard line. Van Dyke changes the play at the line. Officially spotted at the 22. 6:38 and counting to go first quarter. From here in Hard Rock Stadium, Van Dyke back to the pass. He's got time. He's going to air it out. Down the numbers, and it's dropped. That was a big old drop by the junior Colby Young from Binghamton, New York.
Great looking pass that time, but the defender was right there to contest the ball. He was jumping up and down like he wanted the interception.
Yeah, let's see. So Van Dyke, he has plenty of time in the pocket. He just airs this one out down the numbers. It's right in the breadbasket of Young.
Chest.
And he just dropped it.
It could have been intercepted.
2nd down and 10 now from the 22. Wildcats dodge a bullet there. Fullback left for Henry Parrish in the backfield. They are going to give it to Parrish, trying to stretch the play to the right. He's going to be tackled from behind after a short gain, maybe only one.
Defense looking pretty good so far.
They are indeed. They're moving laterally very well when Miami tries to stretch the field. They tried that jet sweep, and now that stretch run to the left didn't really work that well. And now they're going to have 3rd down and 9. Now they'll give him 2 more yards. 3rd down and 7 officially here.
Bethea is warming up.
They have spotted the ball at the 25-yard line. 3rd down and 7. Wildcats trying to get off the field after an unsuccessful first drive on offense. Van Dyke takes the snap. Only a 4-man rush. He's going to sling it. Sidearm over the middle, caught by Restrepo at the 40-yard line. He's spinning away from defenders to midfield. Excuse me, they're going to spot him at the Miami 45-yard line. So BCU misses a chance to get off the field there. Nice catch by Restrepo.
Restrepo with the run after the catch, too. Quick little guy. Got out of the tackle. They're going to go no huddle.
Restrepo on a curl wide open over the middle of the field. Broke the tackle of the Wildcat in the backfield. That's De'Aris Thomas, the team leader in tackles. They're going to run the ball up the middle with Henry Parrish. He's going to get absolutely nothing. Maybe lost a yard back to the 44-yard line. And it's already a little bit feisty down there as the referee's having to rush in to stop up some afters after the play.
Yeah, that's the all-conference cornerback number 1, Omari Hill Robinson. No gain on that play.
Yeah, 2nd and 10 at the 44-yard line. Miami with the ball up 7-0 here. 4:50 and counting to go first quarter. Van Dyke with 3 receivers to aim at, takes the snap, only a 3-man rush, throws back shoulder all the way across his body, caught by Jacoby George, 11-yard gain, 1st down into BCU territory at the 45.
That's too much space. We're giving him too much cushion, man. You got to come up a couple of yards. Thornhill was in the flats. And Omari Robinson was the guy on the defender. He was still 5 yards behind the play.
And that's just a 11-yard out route. Everybody's got that in their back pocket. Another 1st down for Miami. Van Dyke just making the simple throws at the BCU 45 now, going left to right. 4:16 to go. Into the belly of the running back. Dragged down for a gain of only 3. That was A.J. Allen on the carry. Couldn't see who really stopped him. It looked like Eddie Walls got the ankle as he was going through. We're going to need a big game out of Walls tonight. He's the most important pass rusher the Wildcats have, and they have not gotten towards Van Dyke like they were able to do against the quarterback from Memphis a couple weeks ago. 2nd down and 7 now from the 44. Van Dyke takes the snap, has all kinds of time, deep over the middle. The pass is caught by Restrepo at the 15-yard line in tight coverage.
Yeah,
Omari Hill Robinson was all over him, but he still made the grab.
He put it where he needed it, right in the breadbasket, because Omari Hill had him covered like a blanket.
And it was just a little cut to the inside from Restrepo. Got inside position, and Van Dyke found him. Now Miami goes quickly. Handoff up the middle.
Nowhere.
Absolutely nowhere to go for Henry Parrish. Beautiful tackle by Deontay Washington.
Deontay Washington shedded his blocker and met him in the gap for no gain. Actually, they lost a yard on that one.
We'll say no gain. 3 minutes even to go. 7-0 Miami. 2nd and 12. They call it a loss of 2. 17-yard line. Miami in the red zone for the second time. The first time they were there was a 10-yard Van Dyke run for a touchdown. 2-by-2 the receivers. A.J. Allen, the running back in the backfield. 7 in the box for BCU. Fullback to the left. It's going to be a handoff. Allen up the middle. No, they're just going to screen it out to the tight end at the 10, falling forward to the 8-yard line. That's Cam McCormick, the transfer from Oregon.
Big third down right here. You want to force them for a field goal, but they probably go for it on 4th down inside the red zone.
Cam McCormick is a big guy, 6'5", 260, an 8th-year senior, had 7 years at Oregon. 7 years at Oregon.
He should have a pension.
due to injury, and now here at Miami for his last year of eligibility.
I'm glad to see the kid get an opportunity to play, though, after all the injuries he's been through.
3rd down and 3 from the 7-yard line. Restrepo moves right to left across the formation. He's set up as the tight end. Handoff Allen up the middle, tripped up, but he stays on his feet. Touchdown Miami. He broke an arm tackle at the 5 and then was untouched into the end zone.
You got to wrap up right there, man. You wrap him up right there, you're forced to a field goal.
First touchdown in the career of A.J. Allen here at Miami. Transferred from Nebraska last season.
Played 4 games there before he got hurt.
Yeah, but he is on the field and he is into the end zone for the first time as a Hurricane. Borregales out to try the extra point. It is up and it is good. We'll take station ID and a commercial break. And when we come back, the Wildcats will have the ball and we'll have more updates on Luke Sprague. We are listening to Bethune-Cookman University Football on the CatEye Network and 1380 WELE, 14-0 Miami. $14-0 Miami here in the first quarter. 1:51 to go in the opening frame as the Wildcats take on the Miami Hurricanes here. And it looks like Tyleek Bethea may be set to come into the ball game at quarterback. Nothing confirmed yet until the Wildcats actually send their offense out. It's Borregales in the kicking game for Miami, getting set to kick it off to Dees and Bazul back there. The official timeout clock is over. The Miami special teams unit fans out across the 30-yard line. Ball on the 35. Luke Sprague is in an arm cast on the sidelines. Again, we hope it is just preventative and they're keeping him out, but that's not a good sign for Bethune-Cookman. Borregales kicks this ball off. It's high and deep towards the back of the end zone. It's going to bounce over Dees' head, and the Wildcats will have it at the 25. We were expecting to maybe for the first time this season see Tyleek Bethea. We could also see Walter Simmons or maybe even Ethan DeTilio in at quarterback tonight.
Well, you know, everybody been anxious to see this kid. This kid has been spectacular in camp, but we don't know what happened the last few weeks. He has not had the opportunity to see the field. But tonight, the 6'6" quarterback transferred from Delaware State way past the 1,500 yards in the MEAC a couple seasons ago, gets his first start here at BCU.
It is going to be number 13, Tyleek Bethea, in at quarterback for the injured Luke Sprague. The Wildcats have the ball on their own 25, going right to left. Juvensley Bazul is in the backfield. Khalil Overton set to the left at tight end. It's going to be a handoff. Bazul left side finds a little bit of a crease past the 30 to the 32-yard line.
Good-looking play off the left side. The offensive line really made a nice crease for him. Picked up about, 5 or 6 on the play.
Well, they overload that side with Overton as tight end. They really make a nice running lane for the shorter Bazul to run through.
They gave him 8.
8 yards on the pickup, or to 7 yards. Second down and 3 as he falls forward. And we're going to have a little bit of a clock error. I did mention our head referee is Adam Savoy. Our umpire is Brandon Ellison. Linesman Josiah Ford. Judges Peter Beretta, Brian McGreedy, Kip Johnson, and Michael Griffin. Center judge is John Baden, and the replay official is Mark McCaney. That is your ACC crew. Second down and 3 from the 32. Bethea in the gun, takes the snap, looks to throw. Extra pressure coming. It's going to be a running back screen to Terry Lindsay. He's tackled hard for no gain. It's going to be third down and 3 right at the 32-yard line.
Pressure up the middle forced him to get rid of that before he wanted to.
They're bringing that delayed blitz with Maui Noah and C.J. Cloyd up the middle, and it's kind of disrupting Bethea's timing.
Bethea and Sprague are almost clones of each other. Both 6'6", both can throw the football.
Third down and 3. Actually, they gave him 2 yards. Third down and 1. Bethea going to throw deep down the middle into double coverage. It's overthrown, incomplete, no flag.
The guy had a handful of jerseys. I don't know why he shouldn't throw a flag. He had almost pulled his shoulder pads off.
I think that they're saying the ball must have been uncatchable. Davino Ellington was racing down.
They're going to call offsides on the offense. We're going to get a first down.
No, offense on the defense.
Defense, on the
so
defense.
The first mistake for Miami gives BCU a second chance at life here and their first down of the game.
43 seconds to go. We're in the first quarter. Cats trail 14-0.
I want to see if we can get a completion on one of these downfield passes. We've been close, and we've actually completed one to Khalil Overton. It was just 2 yards short of the first down.
The receiver was open. They were just holding his jersey.
First and 10 to the 48-yard line for Bethune-Cookman. Once again going right to left. Bethea takes the snap, has time in the pocket, now rolls to his right. He's going to take off and run at the 45 to the 40. He's going to throw it out of bounds.
Good-looking play.
Before he gets buried by the on-rushing defender. I believe that's Javari Harvey, who was right there in his face.
He made sure he was out of the tackle box before he threw it away. He scrambled out of the box and threw it out of bounds.
Again, that Miami pressure up the middle is giving the offensive line for Bethune-Cookman all kinds of problems.
Well, we expected that. They have a great defense. They're one of the top teams in the ACC.
Like, you read this guy, like, think of a guy like Robert Lichtenstein, a redshirt senior, 6'5", 270. He's not starting on the defensive line. It's going to be a handoff to Bazul, left-hand side, trying to push the pile forward past the 45. That little read option handoff to Bazul has been our best play. He's going to almost move the chains.
Bazul is a hard kid to tackle, too. He comes through that hole, man. Has strong legs. Looking at the replay, he bounced off a couple of tackles and drugged 3 guys.
Third down and 1 after the pickup of 9 by Juvensley Bazul.
Hand it to him again.
They're at the 49, got to get to midfield for the first down. Little bit of a break as the Wildcats in there. That's the end, actually, the end of the first quarter, excuse me. The Wildcats will just let the end of the first quarter run off. a little bit of offensive momentum. They'll face a 3rd and 1 at the start of the second quarter when we come back. 14-0 after 1 period of play. It's BCU trailing Miami here at Hard Rock Stadium. You're listening to Bethune-Cookman University Football on CatEye Network Radio and 1380 WELE. It's a dance party here at Hard Rock Stadium. If you're not watching on the ESPN broadcast, you should go back and find the beginning of this second quarter. They made the lights go down, a bunch of like strobe lights everywhere. They set off the smoke cannons around the band. It's a great atmosphere here at Hard Rock Stadium. The crowd a little bit thin, maybe just about 10,000 in here tonight, but it's still a great college football atmosphere. Once again, Michael Torello, Dale Latil bringing you Wildcat football from Hard Rock Stadium here in Miami. The Wildcats trail 14-0 as we head to the second quarter. Darryl, what is it? What did you see in this first quarter, and what do the Wildcats need to clean up going into quarter number 2?
I saw the Wildcats come out a little tentative on defense. You know, they drove the ball down the field on us and scored. But the offense has finally found a rhythm. Juju Bazile.
Third down and 2 for the Wildcats from their own 48-yard line. And flags fly before a snap can get off. Maybe delay of game, false start.
No.
And that's a killer because it goes from 3rd and 2 to 3rd and 7.
And we haven't seen that this year. This is our first false start on the season.
Yeah, and 2 penalties in the first half. Rare for Bethune-Cookman. This is a team that does not get penalized very often.
You know, it's our third quarterback. We're playing in probably the biggest crowd we've seen this season other than Memphis.
3rd down and 7 now.
Yeah.
Got to get to midfield. Tyleek Bethea claps his hands, no snap. Corey Couch shows heavy pressure off the edge for Miami. Wildcats now going left to right in this second quarter. This will be the first play of quarter number 2. Bethea takes the snap. He throws, intercepted. Did the ball hit the ground?
Did he drop it?
I think it did. The ball was in and out of the hands of James Williams. The pass isn't complete, but it is going to be 4th down and 7. It was a quick slant over the middle, and the defender got inside position.
Yeah, the false start cost us because we could have ran that football for the first down the way Javinsky has been running it.
Yeah, it was just great job by the safety, James Williams, who got inside position on our receiver. That was Tink Boyd he was trying to hit on that slant. Tink is our big play receiver. When it goes to him, look out. Averaging 38 yards a reception. So Max Trulin back on to punt. Pinned Miami inside the 5 on his first punt. That's going to be pretty good as well. Ball's going to be caught at the 10-yard line, turning upfield 15-20. A hole to the 25-30, dragging defenders and down at the 30-yard line. Not trying to see who that was. That was Xavier Restrepo. On the return for Miami, as the Hurricanes will shut up shop at their own 30, going right to left. And the BCU defense really didn't have an answer for the arm of Tyler Van Dyke, although, to be fair, nobody in the country really has. Van Dyke back out on offense in the second quarter, 14-0 Miami. They wear the green jerseys, white helmets, white pants. They go right to left. Bethune-Cookman maroon helmets, gold jerseys, maroon pants. Van Dyke in the gun. A.J. Allen to his left. He hands the ball to Allen, bounces it out to the right side, 35-40. Tries to slip over a tackle, 45, close to midfield. Actually, they'll spot him at the 45-yard line because his knee went down before he continued. Still a nice run for A.J. Allen, the redshirt freshman transfer from Nebraska.
Yeah, the strong safety overran the play. He hadn't stopped in the backfield. He just cut back against the grain and picked up almost 12, 15 yards on the play.
That was the first time they've bounced it outside and really been effective. The Wildcats defense has been good at getting to those stretch plays. 1st and 10 now for Miami from their own 45-yard line. 3 receivers to aim at, 2 left, single right, handoff Allen. No, it's play action, throw to the far side. The pass is caught at the 47-yard line and wrestled down is Jacoby George after a gain of about 7. Iverson Clement on the tackle. They are keeping that ball away from Omari Hill-Robinson. They're going to the other side of the field pretty much every time.
Side once. They went to his side once.
And it was an incompletion.
He was right there.
After the gain of 7, 2nd down and 3 from the BCU 47. Van Dyke back to pass. Pressure comes up the middle. Van Dyke has to scramble. He's going to be hit. He's going to roll out of the pocket to his right. He's going to throw the ball in to the Miami bench. Good pressure that time from BCU.
Good pressure, and they kept their lanes. They wouldn't allow him to get to the outside. They stayed in their lanes, and they forced pressure, and he threw it out of bounds.
Deontay Washington and Eddie Walls were back there on the primary pressure. Also, Amari Jones coming off the edge from linebacker.
Yeah, Eddie Walls kept it contained. He didn't get outside of the quarterback and forced him to throw that football out of bounds.
And Tyler Van Dyke kind of beat BCU with his legs a couple times in that first quarter when the Wildcats did get pressure and he scrambled, but they didn't contain. So a good adjustment there for the defensive front 7.
3rd and short here.
3rd and 3. Van Dyke, handoff Allen, looking for a hole, falls forward, going to be close to a first down. He'll get it to the 42-yard line. Tackle made by Darian Davis.
They're zone blocking right now. He's just picking a hole. That zone blocking, you slant down, and he just picked the hole and squeezed through for the first down.
Another first down for Miami. 13:08 to go second quarter. 14-0 lead for the Hurricanes. Here at Hard Rock Stadium on a Thursday night. Van Dyke with A.J. Allen, sidecar right. 1 receiver each side. Wildcats have 8 in the box. They're going to hand it off to Allen again. Tries to cut it back. Now run behind that big offensive line. What a massive push from Francis Mawinoa. The right tackle just drove one of the defensive ends for BCU back almost 10 yards.
Yeah, they got us outweighed by 40 pounds on the offensive line. Even though we got some big guys down there, too, but they got guys in over the 300.
Mawinoa, 6'6", 315.
Yes, sir.
From American Samoa. They make him big down there in the Pacific Islands. His brother also plays linebacker on defense. That was a gain of 5, 2nd down and 5. Van Dyke the snap. He's going to throw this time. Has a wide open pocket. He's going to throw down the numbers to the far side. It is a tiptoeing catch inside the 30. We'll see where they spot it all the way down to the 15-yard line.
Deep square out. He waited for him. He had time. He patted the football a couple times. He threw it out, and he tiptoed and got in the first down.
That was a deep out right in between the linebacker and the corner to Xavier Restrepo. Handoff, running right. Jacoby George, touchdown. Miami. That was a little screen pass, not a handoff. They made the play so fast I wasn't even looking at the field.
Plus, they're a long ways away from us. They're going the other direction.
Yeah, they're down out there at the opposite end zone. Our location is almost behind the end zone to our right. And it is 20-0 Miami as Andres Borregales is on for his third extra point. That's pretty much all he's going to do tonight, probably, is kick extra points, kick the ball off.
That's it.
Borregales sets it up. Dylan Joyce, the holder. Snap is down, hold is good, kick
No good.
is no good. He completely flubbed it and missed it right. That is rare from a guy like Borregales, who was 11 for 11 on extra points, misses his first of the season.
It's your fault. You brought that up the last time he kicked it. So.
Well, if it's my fault or not, somehow I don't really care.
Well,
so a missed
tunnel.
extra point, it is now 20-14, although
At 1.1 hurdle.
yeah, 20-0, Miami over BCU. We'll take a 2-minute break and be right back. This is BCU Athletics on the CatEye Network and 1380 WELE. Michael Toretto, Daryl Natil here at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. It's a 20-0 lead after a touchdown and a missed extra point for the Hurricanes. Wildcats have not really gotten anything on offense, and of course playing with their third-string quarterback, Tyreek Bethune, in the ballgame right now after the injury to starter Luke Sprague. Walter Simmons not involved so far tonight.
I see Walt down there throwing now, so maybe he might get an opportunity to come in.
I think everybody's going to get an opportunity tonight. Coach is going to give players a chance to play in this big stadium in front of this big crowd and just try to keep morale up a little bit now, down 20-0. Borregales, deep kick, back corner of the end zone, fair caught by Darnell Dees, and it'll come out to the 25 for the third straight time. Tyreek Bethune is a transfer from Delaware State, originally from Brooklyn, New York. Two-year varsity player at Lincoln High School, had 3,500 passing yards and 38 touchdowns in 2 seasons at the high school level.
He can spin it, guy. What they say, he can spin it.
First 4 college seasons at Delaware State, played for the Hornets in the MEAC. 1,541 passing yards, 10 touchdowns. Also ran the ball for 83 yards and 3 touchdowns. Played primarily as a freshman in 2019. Wildcats with Bethune are on the 25-yard line, going left to right. Handoff, Juvensley Bazil through the middle, finds a hole. That's Terry Lindsay as he falls forward close to the 35-yard line, give him a gain of 8 yards.
Offensive line is blocking pretty well on the run blocking. Last week they blocked well on the pass, and the run blocking wasn't there. But tonight we're opening holes.
I think we need to pound the rock a little bit more. They're opening some gaps,
trying to kill some of this clock too.
Our smaller backs are finding those little holes. It's once again Terry Lindsay, the 5'11 guy, in at running back. 3 receivers all to the left of Bethune as they attack the end zone where we are located. 5 down linemen for Miami there coming after the quarterback. Bethune On the play action, he's going to heave the ball deep down the left-hand numbers. It is going to be overthrown and incomplete. It was very tight coverage from Nigelique Kelly. He was looking for Omari Stewart, the junior out of Miami, Florida. Played not that far from here, Miami, Norland.
Right around the corner, like 2 blocks away. High school is right there.
We passed it coming
We
into the
passed it
stadium.
coming in, yeah.
Yep. So very close to where he played his ball, and now it's going to be
A penalty on us.
going to call hold on us. I mean, it's tough when you're playing guys that are so much bigger than you to kind of not hold, but that's going to push us all the way back. 2nd down and 12 at the 23-yard line. At least we get 2nd down again. It negates the good first down run by Bivens. Bethea under pressure, down he goes. Maui Noah got in the backfield and took him down.
Yeah, their front four, they're monsters, man. 81, 51, 17. Those guys coming, man. They're coming. It's a good-looking Miami team this year, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they're in the mix in the ACC. That was Jared Harrison Hunt on the tackle. Now 3rd down at a country mile. 3rd down and 18. Got to get all the way to the 35 for a first down. Bethea is going to hand the ball off to Bazile. Nowhere to go up the middle. It's going to get back to the line of scrimmage and not a whole lot more. And it'll be another 3 and out for Bethune-Cookman. The penalty really killed us because we would have had 3rd down and 2 otherwise.
You know, I'm not going to say nothing, but that's the same official who's thrown the flag twice against us. We've been playing clean football, and on the first down the last time he threw a flag for holding, so maybe they're trying to put us behind the chains.
Well, this is going to be good field position for Bethune-Cookman.
Oh, yeah, for UM, because they're going to get the ball at the 50
yeah.
if he kicks it that far.
Max Trulin set up inside the 5-yard line to kick it. Back deep to receive is William Hawkins. He makes a fair catch at the 44-yard line, and Miami will take over there. And it's going to be interesting, Daryl, to see how long the Hurricanes keep their starters in. We were, kind of talking earlier in the week. Coach Cristobal and Coach Woody know each other. How long will it go on before we call off the Dogs? I don't think we're going to see it in the first half, though.
You won't see it the first half. They're gonna get their offense. They're gonna get their points because they're trying to stay in the rankings. So they're gonna give us all they got for the first half, and then you probably see some second line guys in the 3rd and 4th quarter.
We'll take a short break. 20-0 Miami here from Hard Rock Stadium. You're listening to Bethune-Cookman University football on CatEye Network Radio and 1380 WELE. Michael Torello, Darryl Latil, live from Hard Rock Stadium. 9:44 to go in the first half. It's 20-0 Miami. The Hurricanes will have the ball at their own 40-yard line. Correction, 44-yard line is where they will spot it after the fair catch. At the half, Wildcat historian Dan Ryan tells us about a big win in South Florida 10 years ago And Miss Kimberly Woodward, Executive Director of Alumni Affairs and Development, talks about the walk/run for education for UNCF this Saturday, September 16th. That's coming up at a halftime on 1380 WELE. Tyler Van Dyke back in at quarterback. This time the running back is new. It's going to be handed off to Donald Cheney. Big hole up the middle. 50, 45, 40. Being chased from behind. Tackled inside the 30-yard line. Huge hole. That's Cheney's first carry of the night.
Cheney's a kid that was All-American out of high school. Played in the Army game up in what's that?
I don't
San
know.
Antonio.
I have no idea where it is.
Yeah, he played in that All-Star game. He was a great kid out of South Florida.
He hit the hole and he turned on the Jets. All the way to the 30-yard line is where they'll spot it. 1st and 10, Miami. Van Dyke with Cheney sidecar right. Tyler takes the snap, hands to Cheney. This time he bounces off a tackle as he runs to the left. Swarmed down by a bunch of Wildcat jerseys, but the Hurricanes push the pile all the way to the 10-yard line, another 20-yard run.
That's what you call imposing your will. A lot of big offensive linemen. The defense has been on the field a long time now.
Now, this is a similar thing to what we saw against Memphis. The defense just got tired and got overwhelmed starting in the second quarter. 1st down and 10 for Miami. On the 12-yard line, they can still get a 1st down without a touchdown inside the 2. I wouldn't be surprised if Cheney gets the ball again, just to run behind that big offensive line led by Francis Mawanoa. It is going to be a handoff to Cheney on a delayed handoff. He makes a man miss in the backfield, falls forward inside the 10, close to the 5, down at the 4.
He's a shifty guy because he broke 2 tackles in the backfield.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to be stopped up for a loss, and he just put all that weight on his left leg, shifted direction, and left a BCU defender in the dust. Harris made the tackle for BCU.
You give it to him again right here?
I would. This could be an all Donald Cheney drive. 55 yards, ball by himself on 4 carries if he punches it in here. Cheney sidecar left. They are going to give it to him up the middle, and nobody touches it. Touchdown, Miami.
That was too easy.
Call that drive the Donald Cheney drive. 4 carries, 55 yards. Nobody else touched the ball. And the Hurricanes go up 26-0. Let's see if they go for 2 here to restore the 7-point per touchdown.
They're going to kick it.
They are going to kick it. Remember, Andres Borregales missed the last extra point he attempted towards this end zone. Borregales sets up. Once again, it will be Joyce to hold. The kick this time is up and good. 27-0 the score. Miami on top. 7:34 to go. We'll take a break and be right back. This is BCU Football on CatEye Network Radio at 1380 WELE. 7:34 to go here in the first half at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. The Bethune-Cookman Wildcats trail the Miami Hurricanes 27-0. My name is Michael Cervello. Happy to have your company. Daryl Natil alongside me. For the last time for a while, you're not making the trips to either Jackson State or Alabama State. We'll see you back for the home game against Texas Southern.
Yeah, my schedule has me kind of jacked up. I can't make those two road trips because I have an aquatic center that I run, and those Saturdays I have some stuff already planned, so I couldn't get out of that one.
Once again, coming up at the half on 1380 WELE, Dan Ryan tells us about a big win in South Florida 10 years ago. And Kimberly Woodward, Executive Director of Alumni Affairs, talks about the walk/run for education for UNCF this Saturday, September 16th. If you're listening to us on the CatEye Network on YouTube, you will hear that segment with Dan Ryan, the Dan Ryan segment from last week that we could not play, and the two interviews from the pregame show that we did not have time to play for you. So all that coming up at the half here on the CatEye Network on YouTube. We are set to go again. Borregales set to kick it off right to left. The junior from Miami puts it in the air all the way to the back of the end zone, over the head of Darnell Dees, and through the back of the end zone with the Miami letters stenciled in white, outlined in orange. It's very interesting here at the stadium because at the middle there is the U logo in green and orange on a little patch that they can take up and replace with the Dolphins logo, and the Miami in the end zones is generic enough that it can be used for both.
Yeah, because of the colors, the orange and white for the Miami Dolphins and the orange and white for the Hurricanes. Let's see who's at quarterback now. It looks like
Yeah, Bethea's still out there at quarterback. Bethune-Cookman will go from left to right now with...
No, that's number 8.
Oh, no, it is Walter Simmons, in at quarterback.
No, that's Bethea.
No, you're right, it is Bethea, Bethea takes the snap, handoff Bazul, up the middle looking for a lane. No, nothing. Lost 3 yards all the way back to the 22-yard line. This defensive line, for Miami is finally catching wind to our offensive strategy of running the ball and trying to create some gaps.
You think they're going to go vanilla now?
Clock runs, 7 minutes to go first half. I think they will. Trying to get out of here with as few injuries as possible. We've already seen Luke Sprague out of the game after starting with a apparent injury to his right arm. We don't know the extent of that injury. We'll maybe be able to find out something for you at halftime. Handoff up the middle once again. Bazul nowhere to go. Get back to the line of scrimmage and nothing more. It'll be 3rd down and 12 at the 23-yard line.
Trying to eat up a little bit of this clock, man. 3 and out. We had a few 3 and outs the last couple of times we had the football.
We don't have a first down, I don't think, in this second quarter. As Raymond Woody is just showed on the ESPN broadcast. 3rd and 12 now from the 22. He looks to the sideline to get the play. 3 receivers to aim at, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Juvensley Bazul in the backfield. Unblocked off the left edge comes somebody, and down goes Bethea all the way back at the 15-yard line.
Yeah, they brought a guy off the edge, and they had more coming than we had blocking. He came through clean, sacked the quarterback for the loss. Going to bring up 4th down and about 20 yards to go for the first down.
That was Ahmad Mochin who came unblocked off the edge, and it's another 3 and out for Bethune-Cookman, and they went backwards 6 yards in those 3 plays.
You're starting to see the difference in the kind of type of athletes they have than we have right now, because they got some guys coming.
Funnily enough, Xavier Restrepo is the return man for Miami. He normally wears number 7, but when he goes out to return, he puts on number 37. High, short kick, fair caught by Restrepo at the 43-yard line of Miami.
And you'll see them come out right now and take that jersey off and watch. He goes to those 2 guys in the black. They're going to rip that jersey right off him. Watch.
And then he just puts on number 7 and comes out and plays wide receiver. I wonder why. Is there another number 7 on special teams?
Must be another number 7 on the kick return team.
We've got a chance to step aside. Miami football up 27-0 when we come back. 5:19 to go first half. This is Bethune-Cookman University football on CatEye Network Radio and 1380 WELE. With 5:19 to go here in the first half, the Miami Hurricanes lead the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats 27-0. The Hurricanes have the ball again after a Max Tulin punt. They'll have the ball at their own 44-yard line.
Who's that running back now? Let's see who they got back there.
It's been running.
Cheney's still there.
Well, after he went 55 yards on 4 carries without anybody else touching the ball on Miami's last drive, so why not put Cheney back in there?
Their offensive line dwarfs our defensive line.
I mean, you got guys in there like Matt Lee, 6'4", 295, Javavion Cohen, 6'4", 305. Van Dyke takes the snap all day to throw back to the left-hand side. Diving attempt incomplete. No, he caught the ball. That was Colby Young. Another deep out for Miami.
He was covered.
They'll only get him 9 yards. We'll see if they move the chains. They don't. It is to Bethune-Cookman's side of the field to the 48-yard line. Second down and 1. Handoff, Cheney, sidecar right.
Oh.
Big cut, big hole up the middle. Trying to bounce it out to the right. Gets a block, now driven down at the 40-yard line. Gain of 6 and a first down for the Hurricanes.
He knows what to do with it when he gets it. He was stopped that time by Iverson Clement. He knows how to get out there.
He just looks for that hole in the offensive line, plus the tight end Cam McCormick is doing a great job opening up those holes for him to run through. Of course, Miami ranked number 22 in the country after taking down number 23 at that time, Texas A&M on Saturday. First and 10 for Miami from their own 41. Going right to left, Van Dyke. It's going to be a jet sweep to the left. And ripped down. No, he stays on his feet, but he's going to be tackled back at the 45-yard line. The ball came out. Miami recovered it immediately. Good job that time by Adrian Hall to chase down, I think it was Jacoby George on the jet sweep.
Anytime you're going to try to go lateral against the Wildcats, we're there. We got that good team speed, but he cut back off of a nice tackle, bounced off of a tackle, and tried to cut it up, but pursuit was there.
Correction, that was Ray Joseph, his first touch of the football of the day on the jet sweep.
Ray Joseph.
Lost 4 yards, second and 14 now. 3:37 to go in the first half. Van Dyke with the ball on the 45-yard line. Handoff, Cheney looking up the middle, and he breaks a tackle, dives forward past the 40 to the 35-yard line. Excuse me, that is Henry Parrish back in at running back.
It's short of the first down. Third and about 3.
I'll give it 4. Actually, the scoreboard gives it 5. That spot wasn't really that great.
Let's see if we can hold him right here, man.
Third down and 5. Ball spotted on the 36-yard line of Bethune-Cookman. 3 minutes and counting to go first quarter. Play clock down to 15. We'll see if Miami milks it all the way down. Van Dyke in the gun.
Watch the screen pass.
Parrish sidecar right, 2 receivers right, single left. Van Dyke back to pass. Here comes pressure off the edge. The pass goes over the middle. It's caught by Colby Young, spinning through tacklers at the 25-yard line. First down for Miami.
The slant pattern that time.
And every time they go to that pattern, the receivers have inside position on our corners.
Yeah, Amari Robinson was right there. He just needled it right in there.
You can see how Tyler Van Dyke is one of the top passers in the nation. He is just zipping these balls in there.
He's on the money. I think he's only had 1 incompletion all night.
And it was a drop. It wasn't really his fault. He put it in the red basket of the receiver.
He threw one away, too.
Yep. First and 10 for Miami from the 25-yard line, trying to get one more before the half ends in the next 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Van Dyke takes the snap. Here comes the pressure. One-on-one. Throw to the end zone. Young is there. It is bobbled in the back of the end zone and
incomplete.
Iverson
Clement on the defense that time went up and defended that play in the back of the end zone, knocked it down.
It was one-on-one. Clement, also Joshua Thornhill was back there for Bethune-Cookman. He just went for it. Colby Young streaked to the back of the end zone, and good defensive play.
Yeah, actually, he caught the football. They stripped it on the way down. Great defensive play.
And they said bobbled.
Yeah.
Was the reason that it was incomplete. Miami leads in first downs 19-2 in this ball game. Over 300 yards of offense.
Second down.
Second down and 10 from the 25 after they took a shot on first down. Parrish, the running back, to the left. He's going to get the handoff, look for a lane up the left-hand side. Diving attempt made, and he's going to fall forward inside the 15. Close to a first down. He'll get the first down at the 13-yard line.
Minute and 52 seconds to go here in the half. Cats trying to hold on right here in the red zone.
First and 10 now from the 14-yard line of BCU. Van Dyke with 2 receivers to aim at, both to the right. He's going to play action,
Slant.
throw it in the slant. The ball comes out. It's in the end zone, and Iverson Clement dives on it, and the Wildcats have the football.
They're going to call a targeting on that because they threw a flag. They're going to call targeting. Watch.
They're going to call targeting on Clement.
Let's see. It's a flag on the play.
It
The
was
flag came on the tackle. Let's see what happened on the replay.
Let's see. So it was over the middle.
Oh, he went low on him, man.
Colby
No
Young
way.
caught the ball. It wasn't Clement that made the hit. It was Joshua Thornhill. He's been in the mix a
Thornhill.
couple of times tonight. They are going to call targeting. They're going to call targeting on Johnny Harris.
That can't not be targeting, guy. The replay going to show. We recovered the fumble. Let's watch the replay. He hit him around the knees.
Yeah, well, I think that you just can't lead with the helmet no matter where you hit him, but the rule, I believe, is you can't hit him helmet to helmet or you can't spear.
Let's see. Let's
So
look
they're
at
going to
it
show
again.
the replay now. It's a catch made at the 5. Oh, it is helmet to helmet. That is going to be targeting.
Like he stripped it.
It looks like Colby Young lowers his shoulder, and as he lowers his shoulder, Johnny Harris hits him helmet to helmet.
His helmet hit the ball.
Not-
It's not helmet to helmet.
I disagree. You can see on the replay the helmet snap back.
Well, look at it again.
Yeah, he got
He
him in the helmet. So that's going to be
Gee, my
targeting, and the Wildcats
And we had the fumble.
are going to be the victim of a bad penalty there. They had the fumble. They were going to get out of it with not allowing any points.
And number 8.
Now, I will say, a lot of this is on Colby Young. He lowered his head to try and dive for the goal line, and that's what caused the helmet-to-helmet contact. If he stays upright, that's not helmet-to-helmet contact. Who knows if the ball comes out? But yeah, it's clear, pretty clear targeting on that second angle viewing.
I don't think that's targeting.
I don't agree with the rule as it's written, but as the rule is written, that's targeting.
Feel like he was lowering his shoulder to try to make the tackle, and the running back was the one who dipped.
Well, it looks like for all the world that the Wildcats are going to lose safety Johnny Harris for the game as a result of a targeting penalty.
In the first half of next week. And like he hurt his arm on the play, too.
Johnny Harris, the junior from Sanford, Florida, transferred from Garden City Community College, played at Sanford, or was a Sanford Seminole. The ruling on the field is targeting, so remember it has to be clear and obvious that that call was wrong to overturn it. So I don't think that it's going to be overturned. I would love to be proven wrong here.
Here we go one more time. He lowers his shoulder.
And you can see his head snap back from the contact.
It did hit the helmet, but he stripped the football with his. Okay, here it is again for another angle. Came straight up under him.
Yeah. Once again, if you're listening on 1380 WELE at the half, Wildcat historian Dan Ryan will tell us about a big win in South Florida 10 years ago today. And Kimberly Woodward, Executive Director of Alumni Affairs and Development, talks about the walk/run for education for UNCF this Saturday, September 16th. If you're listening to us on CatEye Network on the YouTube side of things, you will hear that Dan Ryan bit. You'll hear the Dan Ryan segment from last week that we were unable to share for you, and also the interviews with quarterback Luke Sprague and linebacker Dearest Thomas that we were not able to get to during the pregame show. That is coming up at the half. Once again, we are waiting.
What's the over and under that Dan's listening to us right now?
Probably very high. But once again, if you're just joining us, we are waiting for the potential targeting call for BCU safety Johnny Harris in the end zone. He forced a fumble off of Miami receiver Colby Young.
They're going to get him the ball at the 1 yard line. I think their offense is on the field. The chains are set up. First down. And
I think all they're doing now is just confirming that.
No foul for targeting.
And they're going to give BCU the ball.
I told you.
Wow.
That was not targeting. I'm telling you, he grazed the helmet, but he actually came up underneath him and stripped the football with his helmet.
Well, there's some boo birds from the Miami crowd.
They got 27.
I was going to say, you got 27 points. And, I mean, I think that's justice done, right? Because really Jacoby Joe or Colby Young, excuse me, is almost as much at fault for that contact as Johnny Harris is.
He lowered his head.
Because again,
He caused the contact.
Yeah, if Harris stays upright and doesn't lean towards the ground, that's a clean hit anyway. So I agree. Don't penalize the guy for making a good football play. It's BCU ball at the 25 because they recovered the fumble in the end zone.
Here we go, Cats.
Bethea back on the field on offense for the Cats. They're at the 20-yard line. Handoff up the middle. Jubensley Bazile trying to fight through a bunch of big bodies. He got some yards on that one. We'll see where they spot it. Remember, they was at the 20-yard line, not the 25. And they got 4 yards, and Miami's going to call timeout.
Come on, Miami.
Wow. Up
They want the ball
27-0
They
with
want the ball.
1:17 to go. BCU's just trying to run out the clock and get to the locker room. Miami calls timeout.
Well,
I know Mario Cristobal and Raymond Woody are old co-workers at Oregon, and they have a lot of respect for each other, but I don't agree with that call.
I don't agree with that one either. But it's football.
So we'll keep it right here, and we get to talk about, whatever we get to talk about for the next 2.5 minutes while they do this. Timeouts, really, it says supposed to be 30 seconds. It's really more than that.
Your timeout, everything is marketing. We don't see the Wildcat band here because of marketing. I'll explain that after this play.
We are back on the field now after a 4-yard run by Juvensley Bazile. It's now Robinson in the backfield. It's going to be a handoff to Robinson up the middle, pushing forward, and he lost 2 yards back to the 21. He lost 1 yard back to the 25.
Miami called timeout again.
And that's going to set up third. So he gained 1. My apologies. Our angle is so bad. We are almost straight on to the play from behind the end zone. And so gains and losses of minute detail is very hard to see. They're going to be 3rd down and 5, it looks like, from the 25-yard line after another timeout. Next week, the Wildcats begin SWAC play. They go to Jackson State, a team that has been very dominant over the past 2 years. Obviously, Deion Sanders now at Colorado. It's a very different Jackson State team this year, and they kind of got rocked by Florida A&M in this very building last week.
Yeah, but they answered last week against Southern. They're Jackson State. They have some great talent. They have a lot of Division I transferred, and TC is doing a very good job there. We used to see TC over in the MEAC, and he was at North Carolina Central. So Jackson State, still Jackson State.
3rd down and 5 now for BCU from their own 25-yard line. A first down will effectively end the half. Let's see if they let Bethea throw the ball. Snap to Tyleek. Hand the ball up the middle. Nice hole for Jimmy Robinson. He's going to get close to a first down. Needed the 30, got the 29, so it's going to be 4th down and 1.
Another timeout.
And Miami takes a final timeout with 1 minute and 8 seconds to go here in the first half.
I was talking about marketing, and I've been getting a lot of text messages about why the band wasn't here, and this is just my take. There are a number of things that happen in a big NFL stadium. Marketing, every time out, there's money being made. There are commercials. There's people coming on the field with checks and stuff like that. But the band at one time had a script for the University of Miami when they could play, when they couldn't play. And one time we were here, they were playing. They have a house DJ. A lot of things that you don't see at an HBCU game, you're going to see here because of the marketing. You can see that right now, all the way around the side of the stadium, you can see the different logos. You can see the different things that's being sold during this time out. So my take is that we took the check and went to Jacksonville and performed for the Jacksonville Jaguars on Sunday.
Max Tulin takes the ball to punt it away from his own 20. Gets the punt away. Restrepo, fair catch at the 26-yard line. So with no timeouts in a minute 2, Miami's going to have to drive all the way down the field if they want to score one more time.
They want that touchdown that they missed when they fumbled that football, so they're going to try to air it out.
So I think if you're Mario Cristobal, you're going to want to run a 2-minute drill here. This is probably going to be the final series for your starting offense in this game. They want to play it like it's the 4th quarter, play it like there's a minute 2 left in a tie game, right? Get down, score. I think that's what they're going to try to do, and rest everybody in the second half. But we'll see. Remember at Memphis, they were up big, and their starters played well into the 3rd quarter.
Number 28's in the game for him, a running back, Allen.
Allen sidecar right to Van Dyke. 4 receivers to aim for. 3 to the right, 1 to the near side left. Van Dyke all day to throw down the middle to Restrepo. Caught at the 40. Past the 45, close to the 50. He tackled by Joshua Thornhill.
That's open all day long. They just rolled to the left side. He ran a backside slant, wide open down the middle.
That little slant or post or whatever you want to call it has been wide open all night. Hurricanes go no huddle with 47 seconds left. Van Dyke forced to scramble to his right, looking downfield, throws to the sideline, incomplete.
Good pressure that time. He had a twist that came up the middle. Everybody's still staying in their lanes, forced him out of the pocket and forced an errant throw out of bounds.
That was Adrian Hall up the middle. It was a throw that was a little bit too high for Jacoby George to grab. He did make the catch, but his left foot landed out of bounds.
But that shows we're still playing football. We haven't given up. Though the score is 27-0, we're still playing good, smart football because we chased him out of the pocket. We didn't go for the sack. We stayed in our lanes and forced him to throw it away.
2nd down and 10 from the Miami 49. A.J. Allen still in at running back, but I wouldn't expect them to run the ball. Van Dyke gonna heave it down the left sideline, wide open. Restrepo makes the catch inside the 30, and he steps out of bounds at the 27-yard line.
Amari Robinson had the pick, and he slipped because he played back in the flats. He slipped trying to break on the football. That would have been a pick.
Yeah, you're right. He had that read the whole way, but he slipped down, and that was why Xavier Restrepo was wide open. Ball at the 27-yard line. Miami trying to score before the half. 33 seconds. Snap to Van Dyke. He looks. Backside pressure. Throws to a wide open receiver in the end zone. Touchdown, Miami.
Number 0.
Rashard Smith. His first catch of the season for Bashard Smith. He's mostly been used in the return game at a kick return touchdown against Texas A&M. But that's his first receiving touchdown of the year, the junior from Richmond Hill.
Now you see why they call it timeouts, huh?
Because they know the offense can get down the field and score. And once again, that slant post was wide open. Lots of things for Coach Witter to look at in film this week. 27 seconds left to go in the first half. Borregales extra point up and good. 34-0, Miami over BCU. And we have some fans here headed for the concourses.
It's halftime, and they're going to get that meal. They'll probably be out of here the third quarter. It's a late start for a Thursday night game. So
it's 7:30.
Yeah.
We'll probably be back 3 or 4 in the morning to Daytona Beach.
I got to be to work 9 o'clock. We'll be back, yeah. Safe drive.
But it is a rare weekend off for us here at BCU.
Yeah. Those kids will get an ice bath. They'll probably practice tomorrow.
Borregales back on the field to get ready to kick this one off. Once again, it's Darnell Dees back to receive. He hasn't had a return all night. Borregales has just kicked it over his head every time.
Borregales can almost kick a field goal from where he is. How deep is he kicking that ball? Kick it through the goalpost.
That would be a 80-yard field goal. He does put it high in the air and deep, and he's going to be caught by Dees. Fair catch at the 4-yard line.
So the Cats with, 20 seconds?
27 seconds. I wouldn't be surprised if they just run this one up the middle or take a knee. 4 plays, 74 yards in just 35 seconds for Miami on that last drive.
There's some answers that got to be put together for the secondary. Them guys coming through wide open.
The front seven's playing
front
decent.
Seven's doing well. The secondary, we have some problems back there.
And even last week against Savannah State,
you saw it.
We saw Jaden Adams and that wide receiver core dial up on that secondary a little bit.
They had some drops that could have made the game even closer.
Bazile in the game at running back. Bethea takes the snap, hands it to Bazile. He's going to be wrestled down by Jared Harrison Hunt. And that will be the end of the first half.
So you don't have a timeout to call?
Nope, Miami doesn't have a timeout to call. Under 10 seconds left. and we will head to the break. That's the end of the second quarter. The Hurricanes and the Wildcats head to their respective locker rooms. An unfortunate injury to quarterback Luke Sprague was all the Wildcats needed on offense to kind of fall apart. And the Miami offense, as advertised, with one of the best quarterbacks in the country, Tyler Van Dyke, back there. It is 34-0 at halftime, 284 to 29 total yards. Only three penalties for Bethune-Cookman, but they were costly penalties, taking away third down and short opportunities and second down and short opportunities. 9.7 yards per play for the Hurricanes, 1.7 for PCU, as the Wildcats have gone pretty conservative here in this second quarter.
Yeah, you know, Luke Sprague was the guy that had the momentum, and the guy had the hard hand, and he was moving the football team. Matter of fact, the play he got hurt on, he had just threw a slant across the middle for 17 yards. It was 19 yards to go for the first down. And matter of fact, I'm seeing him walking this way right now with his shoulder in a sling, but he was the guy we were looking for tonight to show some offense. But since he's been injured, we went right back to vanilla. Just run the ball and throw some couple of screen passes.
Van Dyke, 19 of 23, 247 yards and 2 touchdowns. Cheney, 5 carries, 62 yards, a touchdown. Allen, 6 carries, 38 yards, a touchdown. Van Dyke, 2 carries, 16 yards, a touchdown. Restrepo, 6 catches, 120 yards. George, 4 catches, 47 yards, a touchdown. Smith, 2 catches, 33 yards, a touchdown. That is the statistics of the first half. And now we head back to our studio here back in Daytona Beach and join Larry Steele. Larry? I'm here with Luke Sprague before the Wildcats take on the Miami Hurricanes in Week 3 of the 2023 season. Luke, you played sparingly in Week 1, came in the second quarter last week, and really kind of solidified yourself as QB1. What's the first couple of weeks been like on this team?
I mean, it's been awesome. I mean, I've been, like I was saying before, I think our chemistry is very good. Start just dating back to the beginning of camp. So, I mean, it's nothing new from practice. I mean, Coach Woody puts us in a stressful environment as much as possible during practice to kind of make the games as easy as possible.
Last year, you were one of the leading passers in the country at the junior college level up at Nassau. How do you translate that success to success here?
I mean, nothing really changes. I mean, at my junior college, I had great receivers just like I do here and great O-linemen. So, I mean, it's really a credit to them. Without them, we don't have success. So if they keep doing their thing, which they will, we're going to be a successful team.
You've come in the second quarter against Savannah State. What's it like coming off the bench as someone who's been starting for most of your career?
I mean, nothing really changes, mindset-wise. I just, you always got to stay ready. So I was just staying ready, just hoping for an opportunity.
Thank you, Luke. Good luck this week.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm here with De'Aris Thomas before the Wildcats take on the Miami Hurricanes here in Week 3. De'Aris, you're the team leader in tackles through 2 weeks, and you've played the most snaps on the team of anybody. What has it been like for you working under Coach Woody early on in the season?
Really just trying to get back into it, like as far as the mix, coming from FAU, had a couple injuries there, so trying to get back into the mix has just been none but work.
The run defense has been kind of my standout unit of the team this year. What's it been like working with the front seven?
Oh my God, I love it. My D-line, amazing. God bless them, man. They do their job and they working hard, so that's all I can ask.
When you see opposing teams line up in like a run-heavy formation, or a screen is coming, do you start salivating a little bit, going like, "Oh, it's my time"?
I get real excited for it. Don't nothing beat contact. I tell most people I don't even like football for us. It's the hitting part that I like. So that's that.
What are you looking forward to facing Miami this week?
Really, just making plays with my team. That's the best answer I got. I think we're all excited for this game. So with that being said, we're gonna come out and we're gonna show it.
First home game this past weekend against Savannah State. You guys ran out for a big victory. What was it like getting to play in front of the home fans for the first time?
It was definitely an experience. The band, this is my first time at Bethune-Cookman, so it was definitely an experience. I'll say that much. The what's it called?
Drum major?
Yeah. The drum major going hard, the fans showing love, the little cheers, just so much going on at once. I loved it. Loved it all.
You got SWAC conference play coming up in a couple weeks. What are you looking forward to with that?
Competition. Love it. I love the competition.
Thank you, Darius. Good luck this week.
Thank you. Y'all too.
It is halftime on the CatEye Network. This is CatEye Central. My name's Larry Steele, and it's time now to get a little history. My friend Dan Ryan's here. Talk about the 1973 team 50 years ago today. Dan, what's up, man?
Everything's going on. I wish I could be with the team down in Miami, but I get a chance to talk to you. So I guess, maybe it is a good thing that I'm doing studio duty now for a little bit in the time being,
So, Dan, what's on your plate today?
I would be talking about the 1973 team again like I did last week, but 50 years ago this week, the team had the week off. So there's not much to talk about. We'll be back on talking about Charles Wesley Moore and one of the greatest teams of all time next week because they went to play Morris Brown and had an interesting week. So that's next week. But let's do some recent history. Let's go back 10 years ago today. And we made a little bit of history in Miami against FIU. And now we'd already played FIU twice when they were an FCS team, but they had moved up to the FBS. And we went down to Miami and we registered the program's first ever FBS victory with a 34-13 shellacking down in Miami. Anthony Jordan had 150 yards and a touchdown. The Wildcats racked up 311 yards of rushing and as they took a hold away from a 7-7 second quarter game. Big play on defense was Tim Burke with a 92-yard interception return. And so what we do the next year, we go back down there. We win a defensive struggle, 14-12. BCU takes the lead 14-7 on a Frank Brown 55-yard pass from Quentin Williams. And then when FIU closes to 2, they go for the 2-point conversion, and Eric Williams makes the sack and keep it at 14-12. Now, it came down to a final play and a field goal, but the snap went away from FIU, and we were able to preserve that 14-12. So that's 2 consecutive wins against an FBS team on the road. So that's the history for today. Also, too, and I'm going to defer to Daryl Natil later on in the program like that. We want to pass along our best wishes and our thoughts and our prayers to the family of Wildcat great Benny Hudson, who recently passed away. Benny was a key member of the Wildcats during the great stretch of 73-76 from Lake Butler. Big-time running back. He was tough, but he also had the speed, and he was one of the reasons why we had all that success back then. So, again, I'm going to defer to Daryl so he can tell you some great stories about him. But, we lost a good one this week, Mr. Steele. And then finally, we didn't get a chance to do this during the offseason, but we got to give some props to a couple recent Wildcats. Jimmy Robinson, who, you remember Craig, man, he could put on a show, couldn't he?
Yes, he could.
He's continuing to put on a show in the Indoor Football League. He was named the league's Offensive Rookie of the Year for the Massachusetts Pirates. And also, too, Nicholas Ruse, who had a pretty good career for the Wildcats up front. He was playing for the Sioux Falls Storms, and he made it all the way to the championship game before Sioux Falls fell to the Bay Area, San Francisco area Panthers. So, so no 73 this week, but I think we got enough good history. What do you think?
I think we did, too, and we look forward to next week.
All right, let's talk about that. Catch my stuff on bcuathletics.com, and as always, hail Wildcats.
Hail Wildcats. All right, it's time now for the Wildcat Halftime Report from Wildcat Central. My name is Larry Steele, and today, as always, I have my friend, colleague, Dan Ryan, who knows all things Bethune-Cookman sports. Dan, how you feeling today? What's going on?
Everything's above ground. I can't make it out. We're at the point right now. We can't make it to the stadium, but they just say, hey, listen, that's okay, Dan. You're just in the studio now. You're just like Costas and all the guys on NFL Today right now. So this makes me feel good, and thank you for having me right now. This feels good.
All right, Dan, you have a very interesting conversation that you want to share with our listeners this afternoon about the 1973 SIAC champions, the 1973 team that was the first team to beat Florida A&M since 1952 and Cy McLaren. I know it's an interesting story, so I will digress.
Well, when you're a historian, the stories are great. And what we're going to do and what you're going to be hearing from me on halftime for a while is we're going to go week by week and talk about the team.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask you a question, Larry. It's like, what do they say always wins championships?
Defense.
And that's how it got started off 50 years ago on Friday in Little Welch Memorial Stadium. And now people don't know where that was. That was right behind where Daytona State is now. Used to be a parking lot, but they put up the soccer field there. But it's this tiny little stadium. We had the most people there for a Daytona Beach game since that homecoming game to watch the debut of Charles Wesley Morris, the Bethune-Cookman head coach. And if we want to do the parallelism, every 50 years we get a new head coach. That's something really cool. But Charles Wesley Moore was the son of then President Dr. Richard Moore, and people were excited about him taking over in the new regime. And what happened? They didn't get a lot of offense tonight, but they got a lot of defense, and they got to the point of 6 sacks and 5 interceptions, and a defense led by Randy Strawn and Willie Foots Lee, who went on to be the Chiefs for a couple years and was the father of former Seabreeze High School and Florida State quarterback Xavier Lee. Remember him?
Yes.
Okay. So anyway, they put on a defensive show and beat South Carolina State 13-7. All the scoring was done for BC was done in the first half when Randy Sweetback Walker, who had been hurt all year, was being primarily used as a decoy. He scooped up a fumble by BCU quarterback Willie Collins. And who is Willie Collins the father of there, Mr. Steele?
I would think Nick Collins.
How cool is that?
That's cool.
So anyway, he picks up the fumble, goes in 16 yards for the first touchdown, the first minute of the game. BC is up 7. I said BCU. Bethune-Cookman College is up 7-0. And the second quarter was Wayne Allen is another one of the great running backs in BCU history. He had a second quarter touchdown run, 13-0. And from there on out, it was the defense. Like I said, to the tune of 6 sacks, 5 interceptions. Willie Jackson had 2 of them. And Bethune-Cookman starts off the season right with a 13-7 victory. Now, the great thing about when you're doing a team from 50 years ago, we're going to be dropping a lot of names about who this team went up against. John Stallworth played for Alabama A&M, and a guy named Walter Payton played for Jackson State. And we're going to be talking about them as they go on during the course of the season.
Wow. Interesting. Very interesting.
So that's the Wildcat report this week, or the historical report this week. One thing, Larry, I just do want to say all the prayers and the concern out there for me, they're felt, they're real, and they're keeping me going. I thank God for this place. I thank God for each and every one of you, and let's go Wildcats.
Hail Wildcats.
Welcome back to Hard Rock Stadium here on a Thursday night football special edition of Bethune-Cookman University Athletics on the CatEye Network in 1380 WELE. The Cat, thanks to Larry Steele in the 1380 The Cat Studios for a halftime report. Thanks to Dan Ryan for giving us all the history as well. My name is Michael Torillo. Once again, happy to have your company and happy to have the company of Daryl Latil. Let's take you around college football a little bit. Of course, we are the first game in the country to start this week of college football. In the SWAC, Missouri Valley plays at Delta State. All of these games are going to be on Saturday, by the way. Florida Memorial is at Grambling. Arkansas Pine Bluff faces a Miles team that upset Alabama State last week. Speaking of Alabama State, they are off this week. Florida A&M faces Division II West Florida. Don't be fooled. Those Argonauts are going to be a tricky opponent. Texas Southern is at Rice. Alcorn State hosts McNeese, who played Florida last week. Southern hosts Alabama A&M in the only conference matchup of the weekend. SMU hosts Prairie View A&M, and Jackson State is at Texas State. What of those matches stands out to you, Darryl?
I think the matchup in the SWAC matchup, Alabama A&M
And Southern.
They're Alabama A&M is picked to finish third in the Eastern Division, and Southern they're reeling right now. They're not playing good football, and they were picked to win the West.
Let's take you through some of the top 25. Obviously, the score here, 34-0. Number 22 over Miami over Bethune-Cookman. Number 15, Kansas State is at Missouri. Number 7, Penn State hosts Illinois. Number 3, Florida State has Boston College. Number 14, LSU starts their SEC schedule against Mississippi State. Number 12, Utah hosts Weber State. Number 9, Notre Dame hosts Central Michigan. Number 25, Iowa hosts Western Michigan. Number 16, Oregon State hosts San Diego State. Number 20, UNC hosts Minnesota. That could be a pretty interesting matchup in North Carolina. Alabama is at South Florida. Look out, Bulls, after Alabama lost last week. Number 1, Georgia hosts South Carolina. Number 19, Oklahoma is at Tulsa, funnily enough. A rare road game in the state for the Sooners. Number 21, Duke hosts Northwestern. Number 6, Ohio State hosts Western Kentucky. Number 8, Washington is at Michigan State. That's the return of a home-and-home series that started last year. North Carolina Central goes all the way to the West Coast to take on number 24, UCLA. Number 23, Washington State hosts Northern Colorado. Then the big one, Saturday night, 7 p.m., number 11, Tennessee at Florida in the Swamp. Tennessee heavy favorites, but UF always tricky to play at home, especially in that rivalry.
It's always tricky, but the most intriguing game to me is Alabama coming to Tampa to play South Florida. South Florida played Florida A&M last week. Had a tough ball game with the Rattlers, but South Florida has some guys who can really put points on the board.
Yeah, I do kind of fear for South Florida, though. It's a Saban team coming off a loss, their first home loss in over 6 years.
Not the same Alabama, though.
No,
They're not the same Alabama.
Number 17, Mississippi hosts Georgia Tech. That's an SEC ACC game. Michigan hosts Bowling Green. Oregon hosts Hawaii. Newly minted number 4, Texas hosts Wyoming. And Colorado hosts Colorado State. That was there's been a bit of fire between Colorado and Colorado State if you've been watching the news today.
Yeah,
the coaches sharing barbs on social media.
The coach is not playing in the ball game, though. The coaches are coaching on the sideline. It's the players in the ball game, and I think Colorado has more talent than Colorado State.
I mean, Colorado, for the first 2 weeks of the season, has kind of proven that they're the real deal, taking down TCU and Nebraska. Of course, Nebraska down for the last 20 years or so.
Let me ask you a question. Do you believe?
In Dion?
Do you believe? Do you believe? That's what Dion said. Do you believe?
I will believe if they can beat Oregon in 2 weeks. Okay. Then I will believe. That's going to be the biggest test for that team.
I believe once they beat USC. Once they play USC.
Well, play USC, not necessarily beat you. Listen. I know you're listening, Brian Harvey, assistant SID at Bethune-Cookman.
Oh, we just opened up a can of worms.
I apologize for this conversation that we are having right now about Deion Sanders. He knows
he hates Deion.
He doesn't like Deion, and especially he doesn't like us dissing on his USC Trojans.
Right. And the biggest thing here at halftime was it rained.
Oh, yeah, it rained.
South Florida shower.
It rained hard while the band was on the field. The band left the field, and then it stopped raining. So I guess the band was the curse. Both teams are out of the tunnels and ready to go. Just 1 minute 35 on the halftime clock. Bethune-Cookman in the maroon helmets, gold jerseys, maroon pants, maroon numbers with a white trim, with a maroon and white stripe on the shoulder pads. Miami white helmets, green jerseys, white pants, with orange numbers and white trim. And something interesting uniform-wise today is that Miami was supposed to be wearing their all-black special Miami Knights jerseys that they have for this game, but they are not wearing them until they can get one of their guys back. Of course, I'm talking about All-American defensive back Cameron Kinchens, who was hurt last week. A pretty bad injury against Texas A&M. We hope that he is back to normal as soon as possible.
Well, they say he's getting some of the feeling back in his body and his limbs, so maybe he'll get a great recovery.
A three-time FHSAA champion at Miami Northwestern is Cameron Kinchens.
He's a kid from the West, man. Matter of fact, if his name is Kinchens, I think he's related to some Wildcats. We have some Wildcats from Northwestern that was named Kinchens that played at Bethune-Cookman.
We are just about set to go for the second half. The Miami Hurricanes will kick the ball off with Andres Borregales. If you recognize that name, that's because his brother Jose was a kicker at FIU and then Miami and now plays in the XFL with the Orlando Guardians. Darnell D's back to receive. Jubensley Bazul is inside the 5 as well. Borregales measures it out, pushes the ball at the 35-yard line. Once again, he'll kick from left to right in a sparsely populated Hard Rock Stadium, but about 10,000 in the stands tonight. The kick is high and deep and out of the back of the end zone. The Wildcats will once again start at the 25. Borregales has some leg on him. I mean, we haven't gotten a return all night.
Borregales is one of the better kickers in the country, and this guy is booting him out the back of the end zone. And his field goal range is depth too, man. He was kicking them from 50 before the ball game.
And yet he missed an extra point in the second quarter.
I think that was a hold. The holder kind of dipped that ball, and he didn't get a good kick on it. Let's see who's at quarterback right now.
So remember, Luke Sprague went out in the first half with an injury. Tyleek Bethea continues to be the Wildcat quarterback that transferred from Delaware State. We'll start with Terry Lindsay in the backfield, sidecar left. Wildcats at the 25-yard line of their own. Going right to left, stack the receivers up 2 by 2 to each side. Bethea short over the middle. That pass is caught at the 30 for a 5-yard gain, and that's what the Wildcats really need to do. Just get the passing game going as Jaywan Tink Boyd makes his first catch of the night.
Tink on a good curl route, 5 yards. But you want to give Bethea an opportunity to get a rhythm and get some success going.
Gain of 5. Markeith Williams made the stop. Williams, a redshirt freshman from Orlando and Evans High School. Bethea in the gun, takes the snap. Bazul stays in. Bethea going to take off and run. 30, 35, slides down. Near a first down. Let's see what they spotted. Needed the 35, got the 34, and it'll be 3rd and 1.
Yeah, they mark when you begin to slide because he slid past the first down marker.
3rd and 1. Wildcats have not converted a 3rd down yet tonight. They've got Juvensley Bazul in the backfield. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. All they need is a couple of inches to the 35-yard line. Let's see if Juvensley gets the ball. Miami stacks the box. 5 down linemen with 2 linebackers. It is going to be a Bethea throw. Quick slant over the middle. It is caught.
Dakari.
Inside the 40 to the 42-yard line. Nope, that was Tink Boyd again.
Oh, Tink's back in. Tink's a little short guy like Dakari.
Yeah, Tink Boyd, just 5'10". Nobody's short as Dakari on this team. He's 5'7". But that's 2 quick passes to Tink to the left-hand side. Just try and get Tyleek Bethea some rhythm here. This does appear to be a second-string defensive line for Miami to start the second half. Bethea takes the snap on 1st and 10. Forced to scramble to his left. He's going to run to the 40. Making toward the near side. Going to be chopped down before he can get out of bounds close to the Miami 44-yard line. Mark the ball at the 45. Gain of 4. 2nd down and 6.
Going to bring in some fresh linemen.
I wonder if they're going to bring some of the first-teamers back in. I see Leonard Taylor in. I see Jared Harrison Hunt in, and Branson Dean as well. Corey Flagg now in at middle linebacker. Once again, Terry Lindsay, the running back. 1 man in motion. Bethea.
Wide open.
Wide open, and he missed him. It was a wheel right out of the backfield for Terry Lindsay. Lindsay never turned around. If he turns around and makes an adjustment, that might be a touchdown.
Yeah, Lindsay had a wheel route out of the backfield, a quick pass because that was a rush coming in. He lays it out for Lindsay, and Lindsay's still running down the field looking for the ball.
Lindsay's looking back at the quarterback. He never turns to look at the ball. I don't know who's at fault there.
I think the quarterback had to get rid of it quicker than he wanted to. And Lindsay probably was the outlet.
Now 3rd down and 6. Bazile back in at running back. 2-by-2, the wide receivers, ball on the left hash. Ahmad Morin is checked in at defensive line. Bethea forced to scramble to his right. He's going to roll. He's going to run to the 50. Close to a first down. Depends on the spot.
Like he's a little short. I would go for it right here.
Nope, first down. They gave him an extra yard.
2 first downs on this drive.
Yeah, so this against the second stringers for Miami on defense. I think it's time to prove what you got, because we just got told during the halftime break that Sprague may be out for the year. That is, of course, not definitive. We need to get him back and get him evaluated, but it may be Tyleek Bethea's team. So let's get him some reps. 1st and 10, Bethune-Cookman at the Miami 49-yard line. The Wildcats are into Hurricane territory. Bethea takes the snap, going to roll to his left, looking downfield, throwing downfield, and incomplete over the head of Davino Ellington.
Yeah, with that news, man, that's disheartening to think that Sprague could be out for the year.
After such a great showing last week.
Boy, oh boy. But we got some kids that's lying in the wake, too.
Yeah, of course, Cam Ransom, who's still working through transfer eligibility rules, could be available next week for Jackson State. But again, I think we have to kind of work under the assumption that this might be Tyleek Bethea's team.
Yeah, Tyleek is going to be the one to get the snaps this week and next week.
2nd and 10 from the Miami 49. Bethea on a delayed handoff to Jimmy Robinson up the middle. The ball is loose, and it looks like BCU has it back on their own side of the 50 at the 47.
Yeah, Jimmy hit up in there, had a little crease, but somebody put a hat on the ball, and he lost about 10 yards on the fumble.
Ahmed Moten knocked the ball away. 11:14 to go in the 3rd quarter. Let's take a look at this again. Nice push by the offensive line. He just got rocked by Moten. And it's going to be 3rd down and a long 13 to go. Wide receivers 2-by-2, close to the line of scrimmage. Everybody inside the numbers. In a very tight formation. Jimmy Robinson sidecar left. He's going to stay in the block. They bring the pressure off the left-hand side. Bethea gets the pass away. It is incomplete.
Too high.
Dakari Allen Johnson had the ball in his hands but couldn't keep his feet in bounds, and it's going to be 4th and 10. Oh, they're going to get Miami for an offsides. That's their second offsides penalty of the game, and it's their second offsides penalty on a 3rd down. It's not going to give us a first down, but it
extend the drive.
And it gives us another chance. Now, instead of 3rd and 13, it's 3rd and 8. That's not that much better, but it is a little bit better. 3rd and 8 at the 47. Wildcats once again on the Hurricane side of the field. Bunch formation with 3 receivers right on the 50-yard line, number to the right of Bethea. He takes the snap, he looks. He throws over the middle. The pass is caught at the 40, to the 35, close to the 30. Staying on his feet, that's Davino Ellington pulling Miami defenders. He's finally marked down at the 29-yard line. Nice catch and run.
That's his first reception on the evening. Davino is, like I say, he's a great possession receiver with some speed. He was hard to bring down that time. Cats on a drive.
Nice curl route, too. Stopped and caught the ball and then turned upfield and kept going. Cats at the Miami 29-yard line. This is the deepest they've been into Hurricane territory all night. Snap to Bethea. 4-man rush coming. He has to escape the pocket. He spins away from a defender, decides to run, and he gets hit. The ball comes out. This time Miami will have it at the 30-yard line. Tyleek Bethea got absolutely hammered, and he is slow to get up. He will now crawl back to his feet and head back to the line of scrimmage. So 2 fumbles on the drive for Bethune-Cookman. It was recovered by Jacob Lichtenstein. I'll have to watch the replay to see who punched it out. But with 9:58 to go in this 3rd quarter, it was Lichtenstein got spun away from, and the camera didn't show me who actually made the hit. I'm guessing it was somebody from the secondary, either James Williams, Markeith Williams, Daryl Porter, maybe.
Good-looking drive, though.
Yeah, especially that throw to Ellington for about 15, 20 yards. I mean, you've proven that maybe not against the first team of defense for Miami. You can move the ball. Bethea's can whip it in there a little bit. And I like to see the little stop routes, the little screens, the little outs. And they didn't lean too much on the run. We'll take a break and be right back. Miami Hurricanes ball. They're up 34-0 with 9:58 to go third quarter. You're listening to Bethune-Cookman University Football on CatEye Network Radio at 1380 WELE. Michael Torello, Darren Latil in the broadcast booth at Hard Rock Stadium. The rain has ceased, but it still feels like a downpour for Bethune-Cookman University right now. Down 34-0, and Miami about to get the ball for the first time in the second half after two fumbles on the BCU drive, which was the best BCU drive of the night, but unfortunately, Tyleek Bethea took a big hit. The ball came out.
Bethea scrambled out of the pocket, picked up about 7 yards as he was diving to the ground. Ball was stripped away. Covered by the Hurricanes.
Yeah, and I at that point, I think you got to take a slide, although it was a blindside hit. Couldn't really see the defender coming. Let's see who is in at quarterback for Miami. Hand off up the middle. Nice shifty move in the backfield. That is Allen on the rush. Can't really see who's at quarterback right now. There's a flag that flies in very late after the play. There has been a couple of afters between both of these teams throughout the game, and this is the first time that it's going to draw a flag.
We're backing up, so it must be against us. Oh, it's against the offense.
No, they're going to get Inez Cooper with the penalty.
Quarterback back number 17.
That's Emory Williams, the 6'5 freshman from Milton, Florida. Pocket passer, number 14 ranked passer nationally as a high school senior, 2,000 yards in his senior year. He was a Pensacola News Journal All-Area selection as well. 3 for 3 passing, 42 yards, and he's taken 1 sack in limited action against Miami of Ohio this season. Williams backs way up into the gun after starting the play under center. 9:22 to go. He's going to throw the ball. Coming back for it is Jacoby George. He makes the catch, gets pushed out of bounds at the 19-yard line.
That's Omari Allen Hill. Damari Hill Robinson.
I'm sorry, who is that?
Omari Hill Robinson. Dakari, I got him and Dakari name mixed up because they got the hyphen in their names.
3rd and 16 at the 24, excuse me.
Gonna stop right here, D.
So after the penalty, let's see if Bethune-Cookman can force the Wildcats, the Hurricanes, to punt for the first time today. Williams with 4 receivers to aim at, 3 to his left, 1 to his right. He's going to take the bell tie, snap, look to throw. Pressure coming. He escapes and now throws it over the middle. Wide open catch made at the 40. Turning upfield and down right at the 40 is Colby Young.
He didn't get it. It's 4th and about 1.
Wow, it is 4th and 1. So Colby Young made a nice catch over the middle. Great job by the Miami offensive line. Eddie Walls was coming, and Francis Mauinoa just about held him up.
They're going to go for it.
4th and 1. Why wouldn't they go for it? They've got great running backs. Parrish, Cheney, and A.J. Allen have all carried the rock tonight. I haven't seen Mark Fletcher.
23 is in now.
23 running on late. That is Jaleel Skinner, who's a tight end.
Come on, defense.
3rd down and 1. Allen in the backfield. He takes the handoff, sees the hole, goes for it, bounces off a tackler, 1st down and more. 45, wrestled down to the 47-yard line. So they stopped him on 3rd down, but not on 4th down.
Tough defense being played. We're just outmanned right now.
Yeah, and the running backs are doing a really good job of seeing that hole.
And bouncing.
And one of the great things about this, probably the only great thing about this broadcast position is you can really kind of see those holes develop when the offensive line does their job. 1st and 10 for Miami from their own 47-yard line. Handoff Allen again. This time not much of a place to go. Deontay Washington makes the stop. He falls forward for maybe 3 yards.
And we're playing some second-line guys, too. We could be bringing in 6, 7 new guys right now, so we're into our bench.
Big substitutions for Bethune-Cookman. I think they just subbed 7 guys on that play.
And Coach Woody said, what you're going to see, these kids are going to play hard all night, and they're still playing hard defense.
Conroy Cunningham, the senior, is in at defensive line for Bethune-Cookman. 2nd down and 7 from just inside BCU territory. Handoff Allen tries to bounce it outside, dragged down at the 46-yard line, only a gain of 1.
Yeah, he only got 1 yard. He tried to bounce it.
That was Cunningham who just checked into the game, who made the tackle.
Good-looking play that time from Conroy. He's a great kid, too, man. I love that kid.
Only 1 tackle all the season coming into the game, but a 7A All-State first-team defensive selection for Palm Beach Lakes High School.
Yeah, he's from right down the street.
Yep. 29 tackles in the last 2 seasons before Bethune-Cookman for Cunningham. This is going to be 3rd down and 2 from the 48. Williams takes the shotgun snap, handoff, huge hole up the middle for Cheney to run through. 1st down, Miami at the 38.
That zone blocking again, man. The hole was big enough to drive a Mike truck through it.
Donald Cheney, not the biggest guy, 5'10". But one of the things that I find remarkable about Miami is their ability to recruit their own backyard. There is so much talent here. There's a reason that a team from Miami pretty much wins the state high school football championships every year. 1st and 10 for the Hurricanes from the Bethune-Cookman 38-yard line, left to right. 2 receivers to the right. Williams takes the snap. Pressure from Cunningham. Williams gets the pass away. It is
out of bounds.
Complete to Brashard Smith. It was a nice over-the-shoulder catch. Smith hung on through contact at the 16-yard line. 1st down, Miami. That was a good catch.
I got to see the replay. I got to see if his feet
are inbounds. Yep. That's a great catch by Brashard Smith.
No, he didn't have a foot down.
Yes, he did. On the reverse angle, yeah, he definitely had both feet.
Throw your challenge flag. We haven't thrown a challenge all night.
1st down and 10 for Miami from the 16-yard line.
Right now.
Emory Williams trying to throw his first touchdown pass as a Miami Hurricane, or at least lead his first touchdown drive. He's going to hand the ball off to A.J. Allen. Stutter steps in the backfield. Shouldered down inside the 10. And it's going to be 2nd down and 2 at the 7-yard line.
Sparrow came in and laid a blow on him.
Wouldn't be surprised if A.J. Allen goes for a touchdown here. Already has 1 on the night. 2nd and 2 for the Hurricanes. Allen still sidecar left. 3 linebackers and 5 down linemen for Bethune-Cookman. They run the ball to Allen, try to get a push off the left-hand side, and a wave of maroon and gold stops him, but not before they get a first down at the 4. Allen, 6 carries, 38 yards, and a touchdown for A.J. Allen today. It should be 64 yards. He's up to number 2 on the team behind Cheney.
Look for that counter play this time.
First and goal from the 4 for the Hurricanes, right in front of our broadcast position. The Wildcats a little bit discombobulated on defense, moving a bunch of pieces around. Right before the snap, still a whole lot of motion on the defensive side. Heavy package with 2 tight ends in on the left for Miami. Handoff Allen. He's going to run that way, one-on-one against Iverson Clement, and winning the battle to the corner is Allen, and he scores a Miami touchdown.
We were not set on that play. We had guys moving all around. You got second and third team guys in now, and we didn't line up properly on that play for the touchdown.
And just Iverson Clement a little bit too slow to get to the corner there, and matched up one-on-one with a really shifty guy like A.J. Allen. It's going to be tough to win for anybody.
It is. 40-0 right now.
3:03 to go third quarter. This third quarter has gone
Fast.
pretty fast, as the Hurricanes are just pretty much running the ball and doing short passes with their second-team quarterback in. And it is 4. Did he miss that extra point? I think he did.
No, he made it.
It should be 41 then.
Oh, maybe he did.
No, it is good. It is 40. I just did the math wrong. No, it should be 41. My stats have 41-0. The scoreboard has 40. We'll try and figure it out when we come back. This is Bethune-Cookman University Athletics Football broadcast on the CatEye Network at 1380 WELE. Welcome back to Hard Rock Stadium. Michael Turillo, Terrell Nateel talking you through this one. 3:03 to go in the third quarter. The Miami Hurricanes 41, the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats nothing. But promise for the Wildcats offense after they drive pretty far into Miami territory. The last time they had the ball, just a fumble took that possession away from them.
I'm gonna say I said this up in Memphis in the words of Allen Iverson. It's practice time now. We're gonna just put some guys in, get some looks, get some experience in. It's just like practice now.
Next week, we begin SWAC play
Jackson, Mississippi.
in Jackson, Mississippi against the Jackson State Tigers. Kickoff goes into the end zone, and it'll be 25 again for Bethune-Cookman. That is another late kickoff, 7 local, I believe, so 8 Eastern time, that kickoff. You can hear it on the CatEye Network on YouTube and, of course, on 1380 WELE. And we will take another timeout and be back. This is BCU Athletics on the CatEye Network, 1380 WELE. With 3:03 to go in the third quarter, you're listening to Bethune-Cookman University Athletics on the CatEye Network. The football Wildcats down 41-0 here in Miami. Wildcats back on offense with Tyleek Bethea. If you're just joining us and wondering where Luke Sprague is after his fantastic performance a week ago on Saturday, well, he was injured on the first drive of the game for Bethune-Cookman and may be done for the year. We are not sure. We'll have to get him back to the doctors in Daytona Beach and get him evaluated. But it is Tyleek Bethea who has been in for most of the game at quarterback. He's back to pass. The rush comes. He's going to be sacked at the 15-yard line. 10-yard loss on the play.
Blitz package. They're blitzing hard here in the what? It's still a third quarter.
Third quarter.
They're still blitzing.
Chase Smith made the tackle for the sack, his first statistic tallied of the season.
Well, how can you not tell those guys not to play hard when they finally get a chance to play?
Of course. 2nd and 20. Bethea lofts it into traffic. It is a leaping catch.
Got flags everywhere, though.
Flags everywhere. 85 for Bethune-Cookman came down with the ball. That's Caleb Lynham, the wide receiver. There's a flag in the backfield. Bethea is now holding his shoulder.
Oh, my gosh.
Let's see what this flag is for. It's
Offsides on the defense.
That's a third offsides penalty on Miami today. It's been their only 3 penalties.
And Bethea's kind of shaking it off a little bit. He was holding his shoulder.
3rd down and 2. Ball at the 32-yard line. Need the 33, need the 35 for a first down. You've got Jaden Bivens in at running back for the first time today. He'll take the ball. He'll try and bounce it outside, get to the 35. He will, and more. There is a flag in the area of a hold. There's a Wildcat with his arms in the air. This one might be coming back.
I hate to see that because he bounced outside, and that if he held, that play wasn't even part of the play.
That's Christopher Grant, the old lineman, responsible for that hold, and that'll take the first down off the board and make it third and 13 instead of 3rd and 3.
You know, we saw the Wildcats play clean football the first 2 games. A lot of laundry here this afternoon, but
Of course, there was that one targeting penalty that was called and then taken off the board after review. 4th penalty of the night for Bethune-Cookman.
he
Now
races the first down.
3rd down and 12 on the 23-yard line. Got to get to the 35. This is Walter Simmons in at quarterback. He's going to face the rush, roll to his left. He's going to run. He's going to scamper out of bounds at the 20.
Yeah, I think Bethea hurt. I think Bethea injured himself too.
And this night could be very costly for Bethune-Cookman, not just on the scoreboard, but in the injury department as well.
So, do you continue to play these kind of games now with Coach Woody at the helm, getting guys injured against the big schools? I think we play Eastern Michigan next year.
I do not know what the schedule is supposed to be like next year.
I think we play Eastern or Western Michigan next year.
Well, it's going to be Max Chulin into punt. He's been decent tonight. That one is kind of spooned off his foot. Takes a BCU bounce to the 30-yard line of Miami. It's going to settle inside the 30 at the 26, and that's where the Miami Hurricanes will have the ball.
Wow. Come down here and get 2 guys hurt, man. That's
So
something
Sprague
else.
out, and now Bethea out, and Walter Simmons is into the ball game at quarterback. 50 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Emory Williams back in at quarterback for Miami. Williams is 3 for 3 for 43 yards on his first drive and led Miami to a touchdown. They start at their own 27. Williams into the belly of the running back. Shifty gets hit hard near the 30. Push him back to the 28-yard line. That was a good tackle by, I believe, Ryan Blake in the game for Bethune-Cookman. No, Adrian Hall was on the tackle. They officially credited it. That was a gain of 1, 2nd down and 9. As this clock continues to run, this will be the final play of the 3rd quarter, 16 seconds. It's a screen pass to the left. It's caught at the 35, up close to the 40, fighting towards first down yardage. Stop made. Do they give him the first down? Yes.
You had a couple of guys slip down on the play. Let's see who that was.
That was Harrell.
14.
First catch of the game for him.
Got a lot of second-line guys in.
And that'll be the end of the 3rd quarter. We'll take a break. When we come back, it's the final frame. Wildcats looking for something to write home about here. It's the Miami Hurricanes 41, the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats nothing. You're listening to BCU Athletics on the CatEye Network and 1380 WELE. really cool scene here at the end of the third quarter at Hard Rock Stadium. They turned all the lights down to the light show, encouraged everybody to put the lights up on their phone, get up and jump around. I mean, the score is 41-0 in favor of the Miami Hurricanes. The home fans got to be happy with their performance tonight.
I think it's done better at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. I think it's a little bit, you only got a sparse crowd here, but it still looked good, though.
Listen,
it was nice.
I love the swap as much as the next guy. I agree with that statement. So we go to the fourth quarter. Miami is on offense. They'll play a 1st down and 10 at their own 42-yard line. Amory Williams is still in at quarterback after Tyler Van Dyke only played the first half. It's going to be a screen pass to the left-hand side. That is caught by Ray Joseph. He scampers for a couple up to the 45-yard line.
I didn't like how they had that thing defended, but they stopped it.
Only a 3-yard gain. Joseph, a freshman from Miami Edison High School. As Miami really bringing in the depth chart in receivers, in running backs. Right now, Chris Johnson Jr. is in the game at running back. Williams takes the snap, looks downfield. Pressure comes from the backside. He's going to flip it short. Caught by Joseph. 1st down and more, left sideline into BCU territory just past midfield.
They had good pressure, but he held himself in the pocket, waited for his man to clear, picked him up for the 1st down.
And a good job by Joseph. He made that catch coming over the middle of the field, right to left, and he found that left sideline. Looked for the pylon, just stepped beyond it, and then got out of bounds. Actually, they're going to call him 1 yard short, so it's going to be 3rd down and 1 at the BCU 49. Williams, flags on the play, and this might be a false start penalty. Miami has had some problems on both lines, 3 defensive encroachment penalties and now 1 false start.
Yeah, they haven't played clean either, so this is their 5th, 6th penalty of the evening. A lot of false starts and offside. The defense was offside a couple of times.
Yeah, BCU's had a couple of costly penalties that's cost us some 3rd down and short.
And some 1st downs.
Yep, cost us some 1st downs as well. Now 3rd down and 6 on their own 46. Williams looks to pass. He's going to be wrapped up. He's going to be sacked. Back at the 35-yard line. Huge play for Eddie Walls.
Yeah, Eddie Walls came through clean that time, wrapped up the quarterback for the sack.
And for the first time today, the Miami Hurricanes will punt the ball. That's a huge win for the BCU defense.
Coach Woody said that in the 4th quarter, his team will still be playing hard. And we saw a great pass rush the last 3 times. He held himself in the pocket on the 3rd down play.
Tink Boyd is back to return at the 20-yard line. The punter is the Australian Dylan Joyce from Kybram. He's going to run to his right, kick the ball across his body all the way to his left. It's going to be caught at the 15-yard line. 1-man miss up to the 20. Diving forward close to the 25 is Tink Boyd.
We finally got a chance to see a return for the Cats this year.
It was Tink Boyd. I was kind of expecting Darnell Dees to be back there.
I think Tink is the guy that's handling the punts.
So the Wildcats will get the ball back at their own 24-yard line, trailing 41-0 with 12:23 to go in the game. And on now their 3rd-string quarterback, Walter Simmons, who started the first 2 games but was benched after 1 quarter against Savannah State in favor of Luke Sprague. If you're just joining us, Luke Sprague got hurt on the first drive of the game. Palik Bethea played most of the rest of the game and then got hurt on the last drive. So now we're seeing Simmons in the game. Heavy set now with 2 tight ends and a fullback to the left. And Juvensley Bazil back there, running back. Bazil's going to take the handoff, try to counter right, and he's going to get blown up. No gain on the play at the 25-yard line.
If Troy keeps that football, that was a hole wide open for him to run through this side on RPO.
Is that Bethea or is that Simmons back there?
That's Simmons.
It's Simmons.
That's Simmons.
Yeah.
Well, they call him Trey because he's the 3rd.
No gain on the play at the 25-yard line. Simmons claps his hands. No snap to come. 2-by-2 the wide receivers for BCU. 7 of the box for Miami, 2 linebackers. Simmons takes the snap. He throws a quick out route to the left-hand side. It's off the fingertips of the receiver, incomplete. That was Caleb Lynham. He made the catch his first time he was thrown at. That time he just straight up dropped it.
The Lanham got to catch that. He wide open on the down and out. Ball hit him right in his hands.
That's 6-7 yard gain if he makes that catch and sets up a 3rd and short. Now it's 3rd and 10. Jaden Bivens now the running back with 3 receivers left for Simmons.
On the blitz.
Only a 4-man rush. Simmons hands off to Bazile. And only a gain of 2 on the play. It'll be 4th and 8. And the Wildcats probably just trying to run down this clock and get out of Dodge.
Well, it's late here down in South Florida. It'll be about 4 o'clock in the morning when we get back to Daytona Beach. So
it is just past 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're still with us on the CatEye Network at
Thank
1380 WBLA, thank you so much. It's been a tough night on the field in the broadcast booth. We had some technical challenges to try and get this broadcast on the air tonight. Punt almost blocked, but it is away. Ray Joseph fair catches at the 33-yard line of Miami. That's where their offense will take over after this commercial break. We'll come right back to Hard Rock Stadium listening to Bethune-Cookman University Athletics on the CatEye Network at 1380 WELE. 41-0, 10:58 to go. Michael Turillo and Daryl Latil at Hard Rock Stadium seeing out the last 10 minutes and 58 seconds of this ACC SWAC contest. The Miami Hurricanes up 41-0 on Bethune-Cookman. Bethune-Cookman's eyes firmly on an uncertain future with both of their starting top two quarterbacks hurt tonight. As they get ready to start conference play next weekend, handoff Johnson. He tries to hit the hole. The Wildcats defense is right there. They started on their own 23.
Picked up 5.
They get to the 32, pick up a 5. Once again, a lot of substitutions on both sides, and I would expect Miami to just run the ball
Keep the ball on the ground
for most of the rest of this contest. They'll give them 4, 2nd and 6, spot the ball at the 37. Snap to Williams. He'll throw. Pressure from the backside. He's going to be. Oh, no, he somehow escapes.
Ow.
He runs out of the pocket. The pass is knocked away.
And he almost picked it off. How did he get out of that?
Diving deflection by Iverson Clement. First off, how did he get away? It was a complete blindside. Oh, it
Let's
was
see. Here's the replay.
it was a complete miss by the Wildcats defender.
Wow.
Quan Harris, the safety, came on the blitz,
Harris
completely missed him.
he
He
came
was
clean.
unblocked, should have had a sack. Williams rolled out to his right, and then it was a diving stop by Iverson Clement to prevent a pass. 3rd down and 5
They're going to
now.
throw it now. They need a first down.
3 receivers to the right, 1 spread all the way to the right side. It's going to be a receiver screen. Plenty of room to run down the right side. Numbers, first down, 46-yard line of Miami.
Everybody in America runs that play. The tunnel screen. We've seen it at least 50 times this season already.
That was Rodney Washington on the reception. First down for Miami at the 46.
Like a little holding, too, by number 88.
9:45 to go in the game. BCU stacks the box. 4 down linemen, 3 linebackers. They show edge pressure. Williams takes the snap. It's going to be a handoff, and met in the backfield is Williams by Amari Jones. Haven't heard much from him tonight, but he does make that play.
Yeah. That's the defense we should be playing against this on the rush. A 5-down lineman. We had gaps covered. And Amari Jones just came straight through and made the tackle for no gain.
And he came from the far side as well.
Came from the backside.
No gain on the play. 2nd down and 10 for Miami. Close to the 50-yard line. Williams with the snap. He looks to throw. He's under pressure. He's going to dump it off short into BCU territory at the 40. Breaking tackles to the 35 goes the receiver. Washington makes his 2nd straight catch. First down, Miami.
Like a hole on the offensive guard. He had a handful of jersey on one of our defenders. Didn't call it.
Clock running, 8:30 to go. Miami just going for short outs and runs here, just trying to keep the clock moving. Then they are starting to head for the exits, what little crowd is left here at Hard Rock Stadium. I think we only started with about 10,000, and we're well below that now. Snap to Williams. He's going to throw it to the tight end across the middle, cut back at the 30. Tackle made from behind at the 25-yard line.
Good hit that time. Cats are still laying that leather.
Jaleel Skinner.
He's coming out the game because he got hit. He got a good leather hit on him.
And Jaleel Skinner was the tight end coming across the formation to make the catch. He is replaced by Riley Williams. Clock running, 7:30 to go. 2nd and 1 for Miami from the BCU 26. Emory Williams going to throw. Pressure coming up the middle. He gets the pass away, floats it towards the end zone, and it's dropped off the hands of the man that just checked in, Riley Williams.
Somebody blew the coverage because you had 2 guys down here in the flats. The guys kept running down the sideline, and you had 2 guys standing at the 20-yard line.
That was just a tad overthrown from the true freshman quarterback. If he drops that in the bucket, that's a touchdown. Nice pressure up the middle, though. They brought the extra linebacker to force a quick throw.
3rd and 1.
3rd and 1. I'm surprised they haven't run the ball to pick up this first down.
They will right here.
They've got Chris Johnson Jr. in the backfield, number 24. They do hand it off to Johnson, looks for a lane. He only needs 1. He's going to get maybe 3. First down for Miami near the 21-yard line.
We're still game tackling. That's good. Good to see.
Now, what can you take from this game as a positive? Yes, I mean, you've been kept off the scoreboard on offense. Both of your quarterbacks that got hurt. You know, what is Coach Woody going to say after this game to try and fire these guys up for conference play next week?
Well, we gained some mental toughness and some adversity. Playing in it, both quarterbacks going down. A little adversity.
1st and 10 for Miami from close to the 20-yard line. Handoff. Johnson bounces it outside, breaks 1 tackle and another, gets to the sideline, and he's in for the Miami touchdown.
Great move. He outlooted 2 defenders in the hole.
That was a great shifty move by Chris Johnson Jr. Really, the only running back we haven't seen touch the ball tonight is true freshman Mark Fletcher. As the Hurricanes have over 230 yards on the ground and over 350 yards in the air.
Who's that they ran him down at the end?
I couldn't tell.
Cat's still playing hard. 48-0.
49 now. Oh, yeah, 48 now as Borregales' extra point is good. 6:36 to go. Wildcats get the ball when we come back. This is BCU Athletics on the CatEye Network and 1380 WELE. Michael Turillo and Daryl Latino live at Hard Rock Stadium, where the Miami Hurricanes are set to move to 3-0 with a 48-0 scoreline with 6:36 to go in the ball game over Bethune-Cookman. This is a Miami team looking to get back to the great Miami teams of old, and of course only going 5-7 last year. And this is a college football town that has been starved of great football pretty much over the last 20 years.
But it was spoiled back in the 80s and the 90s with those Hurricane teams, and then they hit a little lull the last decade. But this team here is very talented. They're playing well in the first part of the season. They're going to go to 3-0. But,
and with a win over a ranked team last week in Texas A&M, I would not be surprised if this team is challenging for an ACC division title. Of course, you got Clemson and FSU.
And they don't play the divisions anymore. They don't play the Coastal and the Atlantic divisions. They play the top two teams in the conference to play for the championship.
Of course, I mean, because you got Clemson and FSU, definitely the top two teams in this division. But then Miami is probably right there.
Miami can play with Florida State with the talent I see on the field.
They don't play Florida, or they do play Florida State. They're at Florida State, and then they're home against Clemson next month, and then at Florida State in November. So, going to be interesting to see how this this season unfolds. Pretty much a new staff here at Miami. They got a new offensive coordinator, Shannon Dawson, after only averaging 23.6 points a game last year, a season in which they went 5-7, only 3-5 in conference. They'll play the first road game next week at Temple, and then they'll start conference play. Walter Simmons in at quarterback for Bethune-Cookman. They start at their own 25-yard line, going right to left. One man in motion, whistle and a stoppage of play, false start.
Let's see if we can keep this ball out of the hands of the Hurricanes so they won't get on the board one more time before the game is over.
6:36 to go. No time came off the clock. Of course, Bethune-Cookman, next two games are on the road to start conference play. Jackson State, then a bye week, then at Alabama State. home against Texas Southern. Next time we're at Daytona Stadium will be on the 14th of October.
Homecoming against another Tiger.
We play 5 teams named the Tigers this year. Memphis, Savannah State, Jackson State, Texas Southern, and Grambling State. Round up the middle after the penalty on 1st and 15. Get back to the line of scrimmage and nothing out a whole lot more.
And when I was up in Memphis and we stopped by the hotel for the game, some of the guys were eating Tony the Tiger for breakfast.
Our SID Bryce has kind of challenged us to see if there's another team in the country that has played more teams called the Tigers.
We got to figure that one out. We got to figure that one out. We got a long ride on the way home. We might be able to Google it.
2nd and 15. Terry Lindsay is in at running back for Bethune-Cookman. Simmons still in at quarterback. Simmons going to pass. Now he escapes the pocket, uses his legs up to the 20, still going left side, gets a block 25-30, pushed out of bounds.
That's what he's good at.
Willie Simmons, described as a run-first style quarterback, dual threat option at an Oakleaf.
3rd and 1.
Walter Simmons almost got that first down, picked up 14 of the 15 yards. Once he gets in the open field, he's a speedy boy. 3rd and 1, we'll see if we see Simmons keep it again here. Hard count trying to get the defense to jump off sides. They have jumped off sides 3 times as the Hurricanes front line. 7 seconds to get the snap away. It comes now. Simmons going to pass. Flare out to the far side. Tapping the toes is Tink Boyd. First down, Bethune-Cookman.
Good pass and catch. We want to see Trey hit some passes like that because we're going to need his play next week.
First down, BCU at their own 37-yard line. See if Simmons can get some momentum going now. This may be Walter Simmons' team next week going into Jackson State. We don't know. Simmons keeps it again on the read option, tries to scramble to his left, gets a couple of yards.
Well, you know, they're talking about there's not good quarterback play in the SWAC this year. And maybe with Simmons running at the helm, we might be able to do something with Jackson State if we get a ground game going.
I mean, that is a big if. The ground game has been, even the second week against Savannah State where we kind of exploded for 31 points, the ground game wasn't the star of the show. It was Luke Sprague throwing the ball around. But when you don't have Sprague back there, Simmons, rush comes off the edge. It's going to be another, it's intercepted at the 50-yard line by Miami, running it back to the middle of the field to the 40.
It's going to be offsides.
And it's going to be offsides again. This play is going to be negated. You saw the flags fly at the beginning of the play. So this interception is going to be negated. It was picked off by Jade Richards. And a 4th offsides penalty for Miami. And well, we know what Mario Cristobal is going to be talking about at practice tomorrow.
They didn't play a clean game.
That was Jade Richard, the sophomore from Monroe, Louisiana, transferred from Vanderbilt. 6 tackles, 1 sack, and 2 passes defended. As a Vanderbilt Commodore jumped in front of that pass and picked it off. Of course, it was a free play, so Simmons just trying to do something with it.
He's a 100-meter man.
2nd and 4. Simmons escapes the pocket to his right, throws on the move, passes high, and incomplete. Off the hands of the receiver.
Overton.
He's looking for Overton. Overton has 1 catch tonight. No, that's Cameron Overton, not Khalil Overton. Khalil has 1 catch. Cameron does not. Now it's 3rd and 4 for BCU at the 43-yard line. 3:28 to go in the ball game. BCU trying not to let Miami have another chance on offense. Simmons really using the hard count now and trying to get the Hurricanes to jump off sides.
We got 4 seconds.
He gets the snap off with 1.
There
Looks to
right
throw. Bivens out of the backfield makes the catch. 45,
Lindsay.
40. Excuse me, Lindsay. And wrestled down at the Miami 39. Nice little wheel out of the backfield.
That's the play that we ran last time, and Lindsay didn't look back for it because the ball was thrown early. That time he was ready. First down.
First down, BCU. Clock running, 3 minutes to go.
Let's get a
First down
score. Let's
BCU at
score.
the 39-yard line. Simmons using the hard count once again. They'll bunch all the receivers up inside the numbers once again. They'll shift Terry Lindsay from left to right in the backfield. Now Simmons takes the snap, hands to Lindsay. He is crushed. Almost immediately after he took the handoff,
Lost his helmet.
absolutely crushed. And his helmet comes off as well.
He has to come out of the game for that.
Damari Brown, the cornerback, off the edge with a huge blitz.
As soon as he got the ball, he was getting hit.
He was almost getting hit before he got the ball.
It's almost around you that play with Clowney.
Yeah, a little bit. Loss of 3, second down and 13. Juvensley Bazul in the game now at running back. It is going to be a
Wide
flare
open.
out. Wheel route to Bazul, to the 20-yard line. Cuts it back into the 9, to the 10, to the 5, down to the 3-yard line.
Okay.
Juvensley Bazul came in the game, and that wheel route is working again.
Great looking pass and catch. Bazul on a great reception, brought it down to the 2-yard line.
Now first and goal for the Cats. They're going to run quickly. Can they punch it in? Bazul gets the handoff, falls forward to the 1.
Your center looked like he got somebody ran up the back of his legs, but he's getting up. Come on, Cats. Let's get in the end zone.
141. Wildcats trying to get in the end zone and not get
And look at the
goose
bench.
egg.
Everybody's up on the sideline.
Who's in the game now? Overton coming in as the extra man wide. And it looks like BCU might call a timeout here with 1:26 left.
No, Miami called the timeout.
Miami, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. They had 12 men on the field. They had 12, so they had avoided the penalty by calling a timeout.
So how big is a touchdown right here for motivation and for
For motivation, huge. And especially for Walter Simmons, completing the 2 wheel route passes this drive for big yards, escaping the pocket, using his legs to pick up first downs. This is the kind of Walter Simmons that can be effective in this offense, and I think punching it in, I'd like to see a read option and see Simmons keep and scamper around the edge for a touchdown.
I think that's what you're going to see. You might see that on one of these plays where it's first down, it's second down.
Down and goal from the 2.
You might see one of those plays, and I think Juvinsky is our best bet in running back. With
Well,
a couple of yards. We're only a yard away from the end zone.
Can BCU punch it in? Find out after this commercial break. Final commercial break of the night. This is Bethune-Cookman University Athletics on the CatEye Network and 1380 WELE. Well, there hasn't been a better chance for BCU to get in the end zone tonight. 1 minute 26 left. They've got second down and goal from the 2 after 2 great passes from Walter Simmons, one to Terry Lindsay and one to Juvensley Bazul to set up second and 2. Can the Wildcats punch the ball in? Bazul sidecar right. Miami shifts a bunch onto the defensive line. What do you
Illegal
give
procedure on us. We got a guy jump. They shifted the line of scrimmage, and we had a guy nudge forward.
Now, that's makes it a little bit tougher. You can't just kind of win the line of scrimmage and get in. You got to try something different now. I'd like to see us go back maybe to that wheel route.
So new play call. We bring in 3 new guys. Into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
They got to bring in some wideouts now. It's second and goal from the 7 instead of the 2.
Overton is out wide.
Simmons in the backfield.
Comes the blitz.
Second and goal. Handoff, Bazul. No, Simmons keeps it round the left side of the 5. Trying to get to the corner.
Touchdown.
Dives for the pylon. Did he get in? Yes, sir. Touchdown, Bethune-Cookman. Touchdown, Maroon and Gold. Walter Simmons on the read option dives and tucks the ball inside the pylon, and the Wildcats will not be held scoreless tonight.
We talked about during the break how big it is for him to score the touchdown because he will be our quarterback next week, and it's great. Let's see.
That's a great dive.
That's a great dive.
Great dive.
He's
Now-
going to be the man next week at Jackson State.
Now
Great to see him put a drive together.
Cade Hector is on to kick the extra point. We haven't seen him since the opening kickoff of the ball game. Hasn't had to come on the field.
They got an extra man on field.
They do. Now he runs off. Hector's kick is good. And with 1:19 to go, Bethune-Cookman has 7, Miami has 48.
They had 12 men on the field, but
That's a little bit of a sigh of relief for us up here in the broadcast booth, and I'm sure for the team on the field.
we can smile like like it's a tie score.
Hold our heads high here in the second half.
And you see on the sideline the exuberance of
There is
Trey.
a flag on the play. Did they still catch him for 12 men on the field?
12 men on the field. We're taking on the kickoff probably.
No, they said there's no foul on the play.
Okay, no
so
foul.
I think somebody threw the flag, one of the referees threw the flag because they saw 12 men and he got out of bounds before they actually snapped the ball. So we will take another break. I said the last break was the final break. I was wrong. 1:19 to go here at Hard Rock Stadium. Bethune-Cookman 7, Miami 48. This is BCU football on the CatEye Network and 1380 WELE. With just 1 minute and 19 seconds to go here at Hard Rock Stadium, the Wildcats are on the board. BCU 7, Miami 48.
I thought you were going to say 7-0. Boy, that sounded like you're getting ready to say 7-0.
I mean, it almost feels like it is.
It almost feels like a victory right now just to see the Cats make a drive like that with Simmons at quarterbacking. And you can see him on the sideline with a big smile on his face.
I mean, you got to hand it to him, right?
Got to.
They've kept playing. They haven't shut down.
They played hard all night. He said that, look, this team was not going to quit. And they've been laying leather here in the second half because a couple of running backs came out of the game for University of Miami.
Well, I'll tell you what. This quarter is tied 7-7 in the fourth quarter. And we've kept them to 14 points in the second half. Of course, that's with the second unit out. They scored 34 in the first half. Short kick, returned, near side 20, 25-30. Trying to get all the way to the left-hand side of the field, make another man miss at the 30. The 40-yard line tripped up. That was Brashard Smith. He caught that one right side all the way at the 10, ended up at the left side near the 50 as he wound his way through the Bethune-Cookman kick coverage.
Yeah, that was crazy because he tried to reverse his field, and he had a wall set up. A couple of guys slipped through the wall and tripped him up.
Brashard Smith, who did have a 98-yard kickoff return for a touchdown last week against Texas A&M, almost had another one there. Caleb Lynham, the wide receiver, actually made the tackle on special teams.
They're going for the end zone right here. They want a touchdown.
They start in Bethune-Cookman territory at the 47-yard line, going right to left. Emery Williams with the ball. Hands off. No, it is going to be a handoff. Dancing in the backfield is Johnson, and he's going to be bowled over after he falls forward, gain of about 7. It's kind of deceptive, the angle that we're at. It only looked like he gained about 2 or 3, but he actually gained 7 there.
Wow.
I'll tell you what, one thing these Miami running backs are really good at, dancing in the backfield and making guys miss.
Will they take a knee here, or will they try to score a touchdown?
45 seconds left. Mario Cristobal and Willie Simmons are old co-workers. I think they might take, nope. Yeah, I'm wrong. Williams still in the game. 2 receivers to the left. Johnson sidecar left. Wildcats moving all sorts of things around on defense. Hand off to Williams, nowhere to go. And he's going to be tackled for a gain of only 1. It could be because we're now on.
Calling timeout. They're calling timeout, right? 16 seconds. No, they didn't call. 15.
And Mario Cristobal begins to walk across the field to shake the hand of Coach Woody. It's been a long day here. And that's going to be the end of the game. 0-0 on the clock. The final score, Miami 48, Bethune-Cookman 7. BCU got the final say with a touchdown late on for Walter Simmons, but the majority of the game was all Miami, which we kind of expected. I mean, this is a top team in the nation playing right now, and this is a team with high bowl expectations, conference championship expectations, and then Bethune-Cookman in a total rebuilding year. But I think there is something to hang our hat on here.
Okay, if I want to pick apart the ball game, this is what I saw. I saw the Wildcats play physical football the whole football game. Every play they were hitting, even though they missed some tackles, and sometimes they were bouncing off of tackles, we did play physical, and we tackled well during the football game.
Now, this is the most yards BCU has given up this season, 589 total yards for the Wildcats, or for the Hurricanes, I should say. 349 in the air, 240 on the ground. 6 penalties for Bethune-Cookman, 5 for Miami.
Only 6?
Only 6.
Oh.
There's 16 penalties on the year for BCU. 32 first downs to 8 for the U. 7 of 9 on third down. 6 of 13 on third down for Bethune-Cookman. BCU did not attempt a fourth down conversion. Miami was 1 of 1. 70 total plays for Miami, 47 for Bethune-Cookman. Average yards per play, 3.5 for BCU, 8.4 for Miami.
You know, a couple of I see 2 Hurricane guys and 2 Wildcat guys taking pictures together. I like to see that.
Well, that's probably guys who know each other. A lot of these Wildcats are from South Florida. Miami was in the red zone 6 times. They scored 5 times. That one they did not score was the fumble recovery in the end zone by Iverson Clement after the long review for targeting. I think that's probably the Wildcats' best moment of the game, where they stopped Miami in the red zone with the number 1 offense in. Time of possession, 35 minutes and 2 seconds for Miami, 24 minutes and 58 seconds for Bethune-Cookman. Both teams turned the ball over once. Miami had 4 sacks. Bethune-Cookman had 1 sack. 10 tackles for loss for the U4 for Bethune-Cookman. A couple of individual statistical numbers. Van Dyke only played the first half. He was 9 of 23 for 247 yards, 2 touchdowns with an 83% completion percentage. Williams played the second half. He was 9 of 11 for 102 yards, no touchdowns with an 82% completion percentage. Nobody in this game threw an interception. Simmons did throw one into the hands of Miami that was negated due to a penalty as the Wildcats and Hurricanes make their way back to their respective locker rooms. Rushing for Miami, Cheney, 7 carries, 73 yards, and a touchdown. 55 of those on one drive where he did it all himself. Allen, 12 carries, 68 yards, 2 touchdowns. Johnson, 7 carries, 40 yards, and a touchdown. Van Dyke, 2 carries, 16 yards, and a touchdown. Receiving for Miami, Restrepo, 6 catches for 121 yards. Young, 5 catches for 55 yards. George, 5 catches, 52 yards, and a touchdown. Smith, 3 catches for 55 yards and a touchdown. Bethune-Cookman played 3 quarterbacks tonight. They had to because both Bethea and Sprague got injured. Sprague only 3 of 3, but perfect while he was in the game. Simmons, 3 of 5. Bethea, 5 of 9. He played the majority of the snaps today. Rushing, Juvenzli Bazul, 7 carries, 22 yards. Simmons, 4 carries, 21 yards. All of that on the last drive of the game. And he had the only BCU touchdown. Lindsey, 4 carries for 4 yards. Robinson kicked 6 carries for 3 yards. It was tough up the middle tonight. Receiving for Bethune-Cookman, Boyd had 3 catches for 16 yards. Lindsey, 2 catches for 20 yards. Dakari Allen Johnson had 2 catches for 6 yards. Juvenzli Bazul had the longest catch of the game, 1 catch for 40 yards. That was that wheel route all the way down to the 2-yard line that set up the Wildcats in the red zone to score their only touchdown. Ellington had 1 catch for 18 yards. Overton 1 for 17, and Lynham 1 for 15. Once again, your final score, the Miami Hurricanes 48, the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats 7, and I think you can't talk about this game, Daryl, without talking about the injuries to both Tyleek Bethea and Luke Sprague.
Yeah, you're going to be some people saying, why did you play 2 money games during the season? You can see one. We played 2 money games, but Coach had no hand in this schedule. We saw the kids come in this afternoon, and Sprague, 3 for 3 on the pass. He was injured. He almost
pick up a 20-yard first down. Yeah,
and he fell on his elbow. So we don't know exactly what the injury is. So we'll get a diagnosis on tomorrow, but he could be out for the year.
And Bethea, we don't know.
We don't know what happened to Bethea. Bethea got up holding his left arm.
Yeah, he got up from a sack. That was when the injury happened. But obviously, we don't know. And the score means less than. Hopefully, those 2 guys are okay.
I was listening to the Gridiron Show last night, and they made a comment saying, "Oh, we're good at quarterback. We got a lot of quarterbacks, but we've got 3 down now. So let's see what happens."
Maybe Cam Ransom is the answer. We'll see if he gets eligible here in the next couple of weeks. The Wildcats next week are at Jackson State to begin conference play. That's a 7 p.m. kickoff Central Time, 8 p.m. local Eastern Time. You can hear that game on the CatEye Network and 1380 WELE. I'll be in Jackson, Mississippi, bringing you all the action. Daryl, you will not be there, but
I'm sorry.
We'll have Chris there, one of our fantastic student interns, there helping me out with the broadcast next week. We're going to get out of your way and see if we can make our way home safely. Thank you so much for listening wherever you may be. Once again, your final score, Miami 48, Bethune-Cookman 7. Conference play starts next week. Thank you for listening to this presentation of Bethune-Cookman University Athletics on the CatEye Network and 1380 WELE, the Cat. For Harold Ford in our Daytona Beach studio, Dan Ryan, our halftime co-host, and our entire media team up here in Miami, spearheaded by Bryce Hornowski and Eugene Robinson. Daryl Natil, who's joined me on the broadcast all night. My name is Michael Trevillo. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next time.